said this, or is it that he just don't give a damn?
Strong opinions, in-depth analysis from the biggest stories in the NFL.
He knows who to get the football to now. They're allowing the run action, play action game to energize this offense. This team, they might win this division.
Complete coverage of the NFL with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN News.
WING 1410 Dayton.
Knock, knock. Happy Halloween.
Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
Is the mic on? Are we off and rolling?
We're rolling.
Oh, this is the best we could do?
Oh.
This is the best we could do. There we go. No, I mean like the mask. Like this is the best. Man, I hate this mask. I can't breathe. I hate wearing a mask. Oh, man, look, we're all being safe and considerate. We didn't even mean to. Look at that. I tell you what. Happy Halloween, technically tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kevin Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. If it sounds like I'm screaming, it's because I am, because I have, Halloween mask on today. All right, forget that. Can't breathe. Taking the mask off. No, taking the mask off. Can't breathe.
So you need to wear a hockey mask like me.
Nope.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Changing it up a bit. There we go. I have the mustache. I'm the same height. I'll be cool, Mario. How about that? How's this? There we go. We are live on Facebook. Go to Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show, and Kev has a mask. I've already switched my Halloween costume. We're off and rolling here on a Friday. How is everybody doing? We got plenty to get into here today. How about the big slate of college football matchups that we have coming up on Saturday? Seriously, I can't take myself serious, but I'm going to try. I'm just going to keep it on. I don't care.
I'll keep mine.
Ohio State, Penn State coming up tomorrow night. You have Clemson, who is battling, not an opponent on the field, but off the field. We'll talk about that here to open up the show. Plus the Browns and the Raiders, the Bengals and the Titans. The Bengals add, by the way, another offensive lineman today. They've added 2 offensive linemen this week. We'll touch on when that could start to make an impact with your Cincinnati Bengals here in the coming week. So keep that in mind. Plus, ESPN has a new 30 for 30 featuring your Cincinnati Bengals. I helped produce it, and everyone knows when I help produce the 30 for 30s that they're pretty good. Don't hide your face.
Too late.
Don't hide your face. I mean, it's a great 30 for 30. Bengals fans, you're going to want to stay tuned in. You're going to love it. You're going to love the 30 for 30 that I helped produce for you guys heading into the weekend. So, all right, Kev, let's open up with this. Hold on. Brian Schwederman on Facebook. I got to be able to read this. There we go. Mario had a few too many of print. Never mind. There we go. Yeah, Princess Peach's home cooked meals. I didn't know where that was going, but never mind. It was fine. Mario had a few too many of Princess Peach's home-cooked meals. Absolutely. But I am the height to be Mario, too. There's that.
Do you have the plumber skills?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I have a phone that I can call somebody.
Quick story, man. My hot water heater busted.
I see what you're doing, pandering.
Yeah.
You're just hoping someone's like, I got you covered.
Yeah. No, it's been taken care of. I got it taken care of, man. But after 4 or 5 estimates, finally found somebody that was reasonably priced in the city. That's why I was kind of running in and out of the show yesterday, making phone calls, trying to make it happen. Yeah, there's nothing like walking on wet carpet at 6 o'clock in the morning and saying, "Oh, bleep, where's that water coming from?"
Yeah, exactly. But all right, let's open up with this. As we talked about, Clemson has a big opponent this weekend, and it's really not the opponent on the field. It's more the opponent off the field. COVID-19 strikes, and for the first time, a big quality, and I hate to say it like that because it shouldn't take it being a high-caliber athlete to get it before it gets people's attention, but we were waiting for someone who had high draft stock to catch this virus, to kind of catch people's attention. I mean, before this, the biggest name athlete to catch the virus was who? Probably Kevin Durant?
Yeah, but I think it hit different with KD because he wasn't
off season too. Yeah, I mean he was even out, with a different injury, different reason before that. So, Trevor Lawrence is going to miss this game against Boston College coming up this weekend. And now the big debate, the big argument is, okay, well, technically the rule is it stems, you have to quarantine, isolate yourself for 10 days from the time of which you start showing symptoms. Well, we don't know when the symptoms started showing, and you got to understand that if you are Clemson and you are in control of this, you got to start doing the math. 10 days. Mm-hmm. Coincidentally enough, I guarantee you that they're going to say that the symptoms started on Wednesday.
Yeah, they said that.
Oh, really?
Yep.
How convenient. Not today, not yesterday. Yesterday, because the news came out well after the show last night, by the way. The news came out last night that, again, Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence tested positive for the coronavirus. He'll sit out the game against Boston College this weekend. The Notre Dame game is still in question a week from tomorrow. And that's why this is such a big deal. It's not that it's not like, when they played Citadel a few weeks ago and it was like, oh, you caught it right before you played Citadel. This is much different. This is Notre Dame. This is the game that is going to put either of those teams or keep either of those teams in the college football playoff conversation. But this is where it gets interesting because I saw a lot of Buckeye fans on social media today, starting to rip Clemson, starting to rip Trevor Lawrence, not because he has the virus, but because right away, the committee's going to take care of them. It doesn't matter if they lose this weekend. And to be fair, they're probably right. And if you are Ohio State, I highly suggest you keep your mouth shut because you could find yourself in this situation. We've spent all week talking about what happens if this happens to Justin Fields. And then coincidentally enough, the two biggest names at quarterback in college football this season, Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Coincidentally enough, Trevor Lawrence is the one that catches, that catches the virus right now. And we're getting to see a high caliber program, how they deal with this. Ohio State can find themselves in this situation. So Buckeye fans, keep in mind, you're going to be calling for Clemson to handle this the right way, whatever the right way is. You're going to be calling for for it to be handled the right way. But I am curious, if this was Ohio State, you would be thrilled as can be if all of a sudden on Wednesday, it was when it was found out that the symptoms had. Now, granted, the Big Ten's a little bit different. How do you see this going down? If you had to put money on it, is Trevor Lawrence playing against Notre Dame a week from tomorrow?
Yes, he's playing next week first, Notre Dame for sure. I'm not on social media as much as you are, but I would ask you, did Buckeye Nation feel that same way for Graham Mertz at Wisconsin? Were they bringing that same, they're going to make it okay for him so he can play? Or is it just because it's Clemson?
Say that one more time.
So, Wisconsin quarterback Graham Mertz, the freshman, balled out in his very first game. He comes down with COVID along with 15 other players on Wisconsin's team. Are they bringing that same oomph, that same energy towards Wisconsin as they're bringing for Clemson right now?
Probably not. For one, Wisconsin's not a threat to Ohio State. They're not paying attention to Ohio State, or they're not paying attention to Wisconsin. It's just because Clemson's been in the right. They've been in the view of Ohio State fans and the team and everyone, and rightfully so. I mean, that's the fun part about this rivalry. All I'm saying is it would not surprise me whatsoever if come a week from tomorrow that Trevor Lawrence is out on the field. And by the way, why shouldn't he be? If he's healthy enough, he clears protocols, more power to him. We just watched Nick Saban test positive, 2 weeks ago? Yeah. And he was complaining, he was trying to find ways to be able to coach remotely. And not only did he not get to coach remotely, he didn't even have to because all of a sudden, wham, bam, boom, he's right back out on the field coaching just a few days later. Unbelievable. And I think you're going to see it here. So Buckeye fans, here's why I don't get mad about these things. Is because it's going to work out in our favor eventually. Hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't come to that point. But I'm just saying you got to sit back and just kind of be quiet a little bit because sometimes what goes around comes around. And then we'll see if Buckeye fans are clamoring for, man, if Justin Fields catches it, a week before Clemson, a week before Michigan, he better not play because I don't think we're going to be hearing that. So let's just keep it consistent as far as that goes.
Man, but it just goes back to the same thing we've been talking about for months now. Dating back to August, once everything was starting back up in the Big 12 and the SEC and the ACC, they have different rules and different protocols and everything like that. And then eventually Big 10 came with their protocols about getting players back on the field. And theirs is different from basically everybody's is different. ACC, you got to quarantine for 10 days. And Big 12, it's a player minimum. It's quarantining in the SEC, but in the Big 10, it is 21 days. You're out 21 days if you test positive for COVID. And it's the same thing we've been talking about, man. There's no clear rules. No one's playing by the same rules. Everybody has their different protocol. It's almost like the United States because, here in different counties, you're mandated to wear masks. Some counties you're not mandated to wear a mask. It's just like that. It's exactly like that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, and Jake White, again, we're live on Facebook. You can leave your comments and interact with the show that way in the comment section. Jake Whiting says, that's ridiculous, 21 days. I mean, for one, yes, everyone else is so much different, of course. So Ohio State's or the Big Ten's, I'm sorry. Yeah, basically Ohio State's. That one's always going to be, dissected a little bit more. Jake Whiting goes on to say, too, earlier when I said, if this happens to Ohio State, then what? Jake Whiting says, Gunnar Hoke, as Justin Fields' backup as a dog, they'd be fine. You mean the backup from – but see, Jake, I'm starting a Bengals jab already. He loves Buckeye backup quarterbacks. Just so you know, Gunnar Hoke is not like I know you're a big fan of a current former, Buckeye backup, but Gunnar Hoke, he was the backup quarterback at Kentucky. I have a hard time believing that he's a dog. And keep in mind, by the way, a 5-star freshman replacing, I can't even pronounce his name, by the way, replacing Trevor Lawrence coming up tomorrow night.
DJ. I'll call him DJ because I can't pronounce his last name.
I even this morning was making notes on how to pronounce it.
But you can pronounce Giannis' name.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You can pronounce Tula's name.
Tua Tagovailoa.
You'll get this one. Don't worry about it.
Well, hold on. I think it's Ui Ongwale. Ui Ongwale. Maybe.
Close enough.
They just call him E. I heard, that's what they were just calling him E this morning. EJ. There we go. That's what we're going to roll with. Why is it that why can't people just have simple Justin Fields? It's a simple name. I mean, that's an easy one to pronounce. My goodness. It is what it is at this point. But nonetheless, it's going to be interesting as far as this concern. Now, this morning, Jeff Snook had a post on Facebook. He put a little blog out about this, talking about, he was talking about the concerns for Trevor Lawrence, but said something along the lines of, well, man, this could really put a wrinkle into his Heisman hopes. And I'm like, what? What is he talking about? See, it's a typical Buckeye Homer writer that is putting this out saying, well, man, do you realize that Trevor Lawrence can miss the next 3 games and he still will have more games than Justin Fields under his belt? And I haven't heard anyone talk about Justin Fields' Heisman hopes being altered by how many games he's going to miss. So, again, I ain't really worried about that. Trevor Lawrence right now could potentially be in that driver's seat, and we'll see. I think Justin Fields will catapult his name into that conversation more, depending on what kind of performance he has tomorrow night against Penn State, which we'll get to more coming up here in just a little bit, coming up around the corner. But it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. We're doing our Halloween edition today. I am laughing, though, because for everyone out there that hates wearing masks and complains about wearing masks, I can't wait to see all the adults tomorrow wearing their Halloween masks, and all of a sudden the people that can't breathe wearing a regular mask are going to breathe just fine in their Halloween masks and everything. I cannot wait. I love hypocrisy. I love pointing out hypocrisy. So that's just kind of what I'm here for. That's what I'm saying. That's absolutely. That's how I'm starting off this Friday. But we're going to open up the phone lines at 457-9464. How are you guys going to feel if Trevor Lawrence is all of a sudden out on the field a week from tomorrow? And by the way, we've gone 15 minutes into the show talking about Trevor Lawrence testing positive for the coronavirus. I hope he's fine. I hope he gets better. That's the most important thing. We're attacking this from a sports angle, of course, about how it could impact him on the field. How is this? What is the reaction going to be if Trevor Lawrence is out on the field a week from tomorrow? We've already seen the reaction when Nick Saban when he stepped foot out on the field, whenever he tested positive 3 or 4 days before kickoff. I remember the whole line shifted as far as, the point spread and everything, like the whole line shifted. So I'm just saying, people are going to be upset. I don't know. People are going to be upset.
I don't know if they should be upset. This is something that you've been saying a long time. People are going to catch COVID, and people are going to be on football teams and athletic teams during this. So people are going to catch it. Long as Trevor doesn't have any symptoms and he tests negative for COVID 3 times, like the policy says, what's the big deal? I'm only saying that because they started playing. You know me. I am a proponent of, I don't think that these things should be going on. But we're here. We're playing now. So let's play. Everybody's agreed to play. Let's play. If the protocols are in place and he tests negative for the COVID virus 3 times and is quarantined for 10 days,
what else can you ask for?
What's the problem?
I think because people aren't going to believe it. People aren't going to believe that those were the proper, that they took the proper channels because
nobody believed it when Nick Saban.
Yeah, how convenient that Nick Saban, everything just fell right into place for him to make a return. For a big game, by the way. That wasn't just Alabama against some random team. It was Alabama, Georgia. Absolutely. And coincidentally enough, and this is why I keep telling Buckeye fans just to keep your mouth shut if you have something negative to say about this, mainly because this virus isn't like only catching teams on Citadel week, on Maryland week. I mean, it's catching teams on Alabama, Georgia week. Clemson, Notre Dame. I mean, it could potentially heavily impact that Clemson, Notre Dame game as far as that's concerned. So, all I'm saying is that's why I really didn't have a strong opinion on this one way or another, because I feel like if this happens to Ohio State and Justin Fields, and I hope that it doesn't, we're going to probably want the easiest course for him to get back out on the field as possible. And we're not going to want to hear Clemson and Alabama fans run their mouth. So I'm not going to do it here from a Buckeye perspective, because at the end of the day, we want Trevor Lawrence in the playoff. Right. Like Buckeye fans, you want Clemson in the playoff. You don't want to get to the playoff and Clemson not be there because of this. You want to, you don't just want to get to the playoff and win a championship, which of course you do, don't get me wrong, but you know that it would just be 10 times sweeter to run into Clemson in the playoff, beat Clemson in the playoff. And man, how cool would it be to beat them in the national championship game? That would totally make up for the 31-0 shutout game from a few years ago. It would so make up for last year's blunder in the playoff, of course, with everyone mad at the officiating. There would be no sweeter way to get revenge than to win a national championship and to beat Clemson. So stop rooting for Trevor Lawrence to miss the Notre Dame game a week from tomorrow. You should want that. You should want Clemson to win out. You should want Clemson to kick ass so that it could set up the showdown of all showdowns come college football playoff time, which, by the way, we do have official dates for all the bowl games. We have official dates for the college football playoff, and we have an idea of when Ohio State could be playing in the national championship. So we'll get to that coming up around the corner, but how cool is that? Jake Whiting says, Justin is probably the only logical and reasonable Ohio State fan out there. Well, look at you, Jake. Now I'm going to feel bad when I release my Bengals 30 for 30 coming out here a little bit. I appreciate that, Jake. And Jake, I think you're actually in this. No, maybe he isn't. But either way, you'll still appreciate it coming up here in a bit. But absolutely, just trying to be level-headed as far as that's concerned with Trevor Lawrence. At the end of the day, you don't want athletes to be sick and to miss time because of this. It's unfortunate that the Big Ten's policy is going to impact their conference more than the policy of the ACCs and others. But regardless, we all want and need Trevor Lawrence back out on the field in a timely fashion. Who cares if he misses Boston College? You really want him out on the field as far as that's concerned for Notre Dame. All right, we got plenty more to get into. In fact, I know this sounds a little weird. I know, here in Dayton, we're not a Dallas Cowboys affiliate, but it does have a little Ohio State twist to it. If I'm Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, Justin Fields is why I do not sign Dak Prescott. He's why I don't extend Dak Prescott. And I'll explain why when we come back. Eh? Oh, we are definitely back to that. We'll be back in a moment. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
We've been expecting you.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
This afternoon will be mainly clear with a high near 48. Tonight's also going to be mainly clear, but with a possible freeze warning in effect, a low around 30. And tomorrow is going to be mainly clear with a high near 54. I'm Pete Spivak for 1410 ESPN Radio.
So how are singles dating during the pandemic? Well, Match did the research, and here's the scoop from the Singles in America study. It turns out video dating isn't just awkwardly staring through the phone. 56% of all singles who video dated during the pandemic felt romantic chemistry, and 68% used video dating to determine if they wanted to go on an IRL date. And people are getting real. 69% said that they're being more honest with potential partners. So are you ready to try something new? Download the Match app for free today.
That's the sound of NyQuil Severe hard at work. NyQuil Severe is the best sleep with a cold medicine. No tossing and turning, just rest and recovery. So you're ready to take on tomorrow. For powerful relief of your worst cold and flu symptoms, try NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's time for an upgrade. Beneath your feet, with beautiful, durable new carpet from the Home Depot. And right now, free installation. Choose from a wide selection of styles. Order samples. Schedule a measure and installation, all online. It's never been easier to have carpet you love, right where you live. For new carpet and free installation, only from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Free installation on carpet $4.99 or more and 99 cents or more per square foot. U.S. only.
Try Vicks VapoCool Drops in Honey Lemon Chill for a fast-acting relief of honey lemon, not to mention a soothing chill. So remember, Vicks VapoCool Drops are honey lemon and honey lemon, honey lemon. Yeah, honey lemon chill. Get fast-acting relief with Vicks VapoCool Drops in Honey Lemon Chill. Use as directed.
Making it easier for you to get the frickin' chicken. Remember Frickers.com. That puts you in touch with everything you crave. Frickin' chicken wings, burgers, ribs, salads, wraps, everything you crave. Should you crave an ice-cold domestic draft beer? Join us and dine in. We have a 48-ounce personal pitcher for only $6. Dine in, carry out, delivery, and now order online at Frickers.com. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits is the home to order online at Frickers.com.
With so many new pet owners, Kezia's Grooming can't keep up.
Kezia's Grooming. Sorry, we'll book solid through the weekend. I can give you a call back, though, if something opens up.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Spring cleanup is for everyone, but nature saves its biggest mess for fall, where we race against time and the never-ending piles of falling leaves. Where Echo Power is more important than ever. Echo makes some of the world's most powerful outdoor power equipment. Blowers and chainsaws that make light work out of the toughest fall cleanup jobs. Visit echo-usa.com to find an Echo dealer near you. That's echo-usa.com. Echo. Power on and on.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's. So thank you. We hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5560 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5560. Enjoy.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms could mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Upgrade to the wiper blades trusted by Rainer Zietlow to break world records. Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades are real-world proven for extreme weather performance that lasts 2 times longer than other blades. The new Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades are only available at Walmart.
Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green, the concentrated cleaner that's perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new again. Visit us at simplegreen.com.
Simple Green. Psst. Hey, you. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. NFL fans, the season is finally here. Get your picks submitted at wingam.com. Click on contest and enter the Pro Football Challenge. Weekly winners will win $20 in Frickers Fun Bucks. Get to wingam.com and get your NFL picks submitted now.
Touchdown! Incredible!
good luck.
Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here. It's a Halloween edition, of course, real original with their Halloween-themed music, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of options for Halloween music as far as that's concerned, but if you think of Halloween, like, this is what it is.
Definitely a go-to.
Your favorite Halloween movie is what? Not like the movie Halloween, and if it is, fine, but like...
It's a good one. Go-to scary movie for Halloween, probably the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
So I grew up watching Scream. I don't know. I mean, that's not even like the scariest of scary movies. I just really like Scream, like, you know?
The original was great.
Yeah. Naomi Campbell.
Great. Yeah.
I thought she was hot. What?
I'm drawing a blank. What's her name? Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox. Yeah. And then David Arquette, and all that. So there's that. But yes, absolutely. I couldn't really get into Halloween. I just thought it was dumb.
Really?
I never got into Halloween.
Have you seen the new one?
I saw they had Jamie Lee Curtis back, and like they brought her back for like I think she's going to be in the next one coming up too. That's coming out later this year. For a year where everyone's supposed to be not doing anything, obviously all these movies are popping out left and right. And then any other time they say we need 2 or 3. Well, maybe they already started recording these before.
They started filming that back in last fall.
There's like another. This isn't Halloween related. Another Jurassic World coming out too. Like there's a lot of movies that.
There's a lot of movies
they've been sitting on these. They've been sitting on these.
I'm a big Marvel Cinematic Universe guy, and they like got the new ones just sitting there, and they just started filming the new Spider-Man, so they got a ton of stuff coming out. Just sitting, waiting. The Wonder Woman's supposed to be coming out. That's a DC movie, but all these movies that are supposed to come out over the summer, then they got pushed back to like, all right, we're gonna push it back to Labor Day weekend, have a big movie extravaganza. I'm like, no, we're gonna push it back to Thanksgiving. Now we're gonna push it back to Christmas, and now everything is just on complete standby until we can go back to the movies.
All right, as you can see, we don't dress like this, for work every day. Kevin, he hates masks.
Never. I love masks. Wear your mask, people.
Nah, dude, just the other day, I hate wearing a mask. Can't breathe. No one tells me what to do. I ain't gonna wear a mask. That's what you were saying. That's what you say all the time. Oh. Yeah, anti-authority. That's Kevin.
Wrong Kevin.
Yeah. But no. So I am curious because I've had some friends send me throughout the day, like, a lot of people are working from home. So they, of course, here, usually at the building, when we have everyone here, usually we do like a big chili cook-off, big costume contest, and that's always fun. And
I won that last year, by the way.
Did you?
Yes.
No one ever votes for mine. It pisses me off. I'm real competitive.
You were Freddie Kitchens last year.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Most hated man in Ohio.
So my plan this year was to be Andy Reid.
Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, but the problem is, when I went to go get everything, it would have cost like $85.
Oh no!
And see, I didn't want to like take the tags off everything. I wanted to return everything. I just wanted to wear it once so I could, win the contest and go home. But then no returns because of COVID. It ruined everything. But I am curious, and we have $25. Yeah, I have $25 in Frickers Fun Bucks we want to give away. And a lot of my friends today who are working from home with Zoom and some other things, like, you get to do the green screens, they're still, a lot of people are still dressing up for Halloween, even though if you're working from home. So we're going to do our own little costume contest. We're going to do our own little competition here because me and Kev are bummed. Usually we do this big costume contest here every year. We didn't get to do that this year. So we're a little bummed. This building is just like a ghost town. We hate it. So we want to have a little fun. So in the comment section, head to Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show. If you dressed up today for Halloween, leave a picture in the comment section. Kevin and I will be the judge of who was the best one, and whoever wins, you get $25 in Frickers Fun Bucks. Nice. It's that simple.
Nice.
I think we could pull that off, right?
That.
And me and you, just like any other contest, we can't win it. That's fine. That's fair. But that's fair.
It's always something.
I could have pulled off the Andy Reid thing.
You could have, man. You got the little stash.
I was gonna go get the. Well, see, I guess I do got a red hat, but I could have been like Andy Reid / Mario. But I was, I had the stash for Andy Reid. I had the glasses. I was gonna get the face shield with the Chiefs hat. Just get a Chiefs pullover and have the headset on. I could have pulled it off.
How long are you gonna keep the stash?
I don't know. We got Hooper's wedding tomorrow. So
that's right.
But I don't know.
Know what you should do?
I didn't think this through because this thing's embarrassing, but it fits the costume, so it works.
You shouldn't cut your mustache until Ohio State loses.
No, I'm gonna have like one of those ones that you like twist on the outside. No, I'm good. I like the goatee. I'm going with the goatee. See, when I was skinny, I was just go baby face. But now that I have like 3, 4, and 5, 6 chins, I kind of like the facial hair to cover it up a little bit as far as that's concerned.
No shave November.
Oh, man.
Coming up.
No, absolutely. Now, see, I'm getting a lot of Jake Whiting says, I dressed up as a sad, depressed Bengals fan today. Okay, I was trying to keep the Bengals out of my mouth for at least the first hour. Bengals fans, here's the deal.
Oh, God.
I created and helped produce an ESPN 30 for 30 original, and it's about your Cincinnati Bengals, and we are going to debut that coming up here in a half hour. Top of the hour, 4 o'clock. If you are a Bengals fan and you hate me, I highly suggest you tune in or stay tuned in until 4 o'clock, and actually until 6. That actually helps me and the station. But at 4 o'clock, you do not want to miss what we have for you at 4 o'clock. I helped produce the ultimate 30 for 30. Like, it is going to put all 30 for 30s to shame. I'm not even going to tell you the name of the 30 for 30, but if you are a Bengals fan, you are going to want to tune in. Kev, you started to listen to it earlier. Yeah. You said, no. I want to hear it live with everybody else, and I cannot wait. 4 o'clock, Bengals fans.
I'm nervous.
4 o'clock. I'm not. By the way, I didn't put your name in it because I didn't want you to get, a lot of the hate. I didn't want, none of that. Not that there's nothing to hate. There's nothing to hate, people. It's just, it is what it is. So there's that. But okay, let's get into this. People are getting antsy here on a Friday. Yeah, see, this is what happened when we talk sports. People in the comment section aren't talking sports. Now we're off in ADD land, and now everyone's throwing in their predictions. I'm like, relax, people. We got 3 hours. We
barbecue and pizza.
Barbecue. Yeah, Fridays are always the funnest as far as that's concerned. Okay, so earlier today, just listening to different sports radio shows, watching ESPN, Fox, all that other stuff, just listening to watching different shows, everyone talking about the trade deadline coming up. And this doesn't really concern the Bengals or the Browns as far as that's concerned, but it does involve the Dallas Cowboys. And I know this is Ohio, this is Dayton, this is not Dallas, this is not Cowboy Nation, but it does involve you Buckeye fans as far as where Justin Fields could end up. Because there are a lot of teams that are in position to be high in the draft that probably were not anticipating being that high in the draft coming into the season. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that Jerry Jones is happy about the Dak Prescott injury. I'm not saying that Jerry Jones is happy about where the Browns are at right now, or where the Cowboys are at right now. But I do believe that all of this could be, and I hate saying a blessing in disguise when you have a guy that just had a season-ending injury on a contract year that was trying to get his millions and millions, although he is making $37 million this year. But he wanted that long-term deal. He wanted that Russell Wilson money, and a lot of people believe he's worth it. I think he's capable of being that guy, but I also at the same time do not believe that he has earned it from a standpoint of his career accomplishments don't match what the other quarterbacks who are making that money in the league are. But if if I'm Jerry Jones, I look at this as, oh man, I'm going to be really pressured a lot into potentially getting this deal done. If I'm Jerry Jones, I don't do it. If you put that much money into him, if you have to pay him that $40 million, you're going to lock up all your money into that quarterback. Here's the problem with that. Your offensive line is not as strong as what it used to be. The defense is not as strong as it used to be. You have a lot of holes to fill. If you go and put all that money into the quarterback position, you can't fill those holes. Jerry Jones is in the prime position here to where he could potentially have a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence is not bumping into that one spot, and I don't think the Cowboys are bad enough to get that one spot. I mean, they're going to have to pry that. I mean, you're literally going to have to be on tank to out-tank the Jets at this point to get Trevor Lawrence. But I believe Justin Fields is going to be available for the Dallas Cowboys, sitting there at 3 or 4 potentially if possible. If that's the case, Jerry Jones has no choice but to pull the trigger to get a Justin Fields, because that gets you out of having to pay Dak Prescott. Not that you desperately don't want to pay him, but paying him doesn't fix your problems. You weren't winning games with Dak Prescott to start this season, and you're going to take all the same problems you have this year into next year because all the money you spend on him. And keep in mind, if you pay attention to baseball right now, your Indians, every team out there, they are releasing star players because they know they can't afford to keep them next year, because COVID's not impacting the teams this year. The NFL teams aren't being impacted by COVID this season.
Right.
We're going to see it next year.
Yep.
And that's why if you're the Dallas Cowboys, paying Dak is not going to make sense because you're already going to be looking to cut costs in other ways. So you're going to pay Dak all the money you do have. You're not going to have money to fill the gaps that you have elsewhere. It's not a good situation if you're the Dallas Cowboys. Drafting Justin Fields is a fantastic opportunity for Jerry Jones because then you get him on your rookie deal. Then you put Justin Fields, you fine-tune that offensive line a little bit, but you have your star running back in Zeke Elliott, if he ever decides he wants to play again. Then you have CeeDee Lamb. You have Amari Cooper. You have Gallup. You have weapons all over the place on that offensive side of the ball to where Justin Fields, he would be able to hit. I mean, look at the rookies this year that are having success even on bad teams. I like to poke fun at Joe Burrow, but the kid's balling out. With that bad offensive line, with that horrible defense, with the boob of a coach and Zach Taylor. I mean, throughout everything, Joe Burrow's still playing well. Justin Herbert, it's not like he has anything. It's not like that team is in better shape than the Bengals. They are in better shape than the Bengals, but not by much. And he's making it work over there. They're not winning a lot of games, but man, he's balling out. He looks good. We're going to see Tua this weekend. Same thing. I expect him to be right up there with those guys. So for Justin Fields, the expectations to come in is not to be eased into the NFL season. You're going to be expected to perform. The 3 dominant rookies this year are going to put the pressure on the guys next year. Trevor Lawrence, you don't get to have, rookie pains. Joe Burrow didn't have. The only pain he's facing is every time he hits the ground because his offensive line can't block for him. He looks like a seasoned vet. Same thing with Justin Herbert. I expect the same from Tua here in a few weeks. He's going to make his debut coming up on Sunday. Justin Fields makes a lot of sense in Dallas because not only does it keep them from having to put all that money into one position, they have your quarterback on a rookie deal. You have 4 years to spend all your money to fix those holes. Justin Fields could be an instant winner in the NFL, and he will probably be in a better spot to succeed than wherever Trevor Lawrence goes. Justin Fields could be the best quarterback next year in the NFL. Rookie-wise, just because Trevor Lawrence can go to the Jets, Justin Fields would have weapons galore in Dallas with all the money they'd be able to put elsewhere.
Man, oh man. It's so many things to
I even said nice things in there about a lot of other teams and their quarterbacks.
Okay, so one, how could the Cowboys possibly be better with a worse quarterback?
How do you know he'd be a worse quarterback?
Because Dak is a top-level quarterback in the NFL.
Is he?
Absolutely is. You see, they're falling apart right now. Like before, they're in shootouts because their defense is so bad. Now they're getting blown out by the Washington football team.
That's not because of quarterback. That's lack of effort.
It is.
That's lack of effort.
Because of quarterback.
No.
It's because of quarterback.
The team has quit. Zeke has quit. Everyone's quit on their coach.
They wouldn't have quit if Dak was there because they would have still been scoring points.
Right, they're winning
games.
Scoring a lot of points. Ask the Bengals. Scoring points means nothing right now.
They're in shootouts. They're in the game. So now they're not in games. 2, just a week ago on this very program, you were saying how important it was for the Browns to win now. You have to win now. You have to win now. You were willing to give up a first-round pick for Matt Ryan, who is owed $5 million for the rest of this year and another $49 million cap hit. So why is it so important for the Browns to win now and it's not important for the Cowboys to win now?
No, in my opinion, no teams are ever this, like the urgency and expectations for one team are not the same as another. For one, here's why. The Browns have invested a ton of money into star players that they have for the next 2 to 3 years.
The Cowboys.
Yeah, but the Cowboys, they've actually lost more talent. The offensive line's weaker and they've gotten older. They don't look as strong as they used to. And the defense, they were banged up this year. But keep in mind, the other thing is, too, the Browns are able to be where they're at because their money it's into a rookie quarterback. Once they have to make a decision of who they want to pay quarterback-wise, they're not going to be as flexible. You're not going to be able to keep OBJ and Jarvis and Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. You're not going to be able to, Miles Garrett and Nick, and Ward. By the way, he's going to be due money here in the near future. So, that's why the Browns are in the position they are in, and the Cowboys are in a much different position. They've put their money into Smith and some of the other guys in Zeke, and they paid a lot of guys early. Now they're stuck, and now they have to pay their quarterback, and now they'll have no money left elsewhere to be able to plug those in. I know you're going to say, well, that's important to draft, but the Browns are in urgency mode more than the Cowboys because the Cowboys right now, look at all the holes they have this year. They have a ton of holes to fill. They're not close to being winners. So that's why I think that it makes more sense. You don't even have to hit the reset button. You're just getting a good to sit there. When we're using the word rookie, there's always a negative connotation there that losing has to come with. Losing does not have to come with that. I mean, Joe Burrow, if he had a good team around him, they'd be competing for this division right now. So Justin Fields can come right into Dallas. He's going to have the weapons. They're going to have the financial flexibility to go fill those holes. The holes that they'll be able to fill with Justin Fields, they will not have the flexibility to do if you have Dak Prescott, because that means you had to pay him.
So you trust the Dallas Cowboys to make the right decision, will make that decision, and coach him up the correct way, everything that's going on with McCarthy?
Why not?
Well, he's not able to.
I don't think McCarthy's the head coach next year, so
it's a complete overhaul. You dumping McCarthy after 1 year, and you dumping a potential franchise quarterback.
Well, you say if you use the word potential, he's not. So,
well, he's not. Well,
you're still trying to figure out who your quarterback is.
Well, he's not the franchise quarterback because he's not signed to a deal.
Because he hasn't done enough to convince that front office that he is worth that type of money. I think he's good enough that they say, hey, yeah, we want to keep him long term, but not for those dollars in the years that he was wanting.
Open the phone lines, bruh.
457-9464. Phone lines are officially open. I don't see why this really isn't one of my hotter takes. This is just, to me, it makes a lot more sense. Why would you dump all this money into Dak when you have all these
the best
holes?
player on the team. Hands down.
Geez, the team that is what, like competing for last and first place in the worst division in football right now?
He was the reason they were in any games.
He was the reason that he wasn't the reason they were winning games.
He was the reason they were winning games.
What games?
The 2 that they won. He's the reason.
They're not good. They're not going to be good.
They're not
but
good.
They won't be good next year either with him.
The running back is fumbling. The wide receiver is quitting on routes and dropping passes.
Yep.
There's mutiny on the defensive side of the ball. There's injuries on the offensive line. There's guys retiring on the offensive line. The coach, we don't know. He's hiring his buddies who didn't coach in the NFL for 5 years, who brought him off the couch as opposed to grabbing somebody. You want to talk about things that are going on in Cincinnati, him not having the connections. Mike McCarthy's been in this league 20 plus years and he didn't have enough connections to hire a person that wasn't sitting on the couch like me and you. That's a big problem. I'm
not saying he's a good coach, but he at least has a Super Bowl.
I think that, well, how long ago was that? Why
does that matter?
We just talked about that yesterday.
Super Bowl's a Super Bowl.
How long can we reach back and say, oh, he got one? How long can we do that?
He has a Super Bowl.
How long can we play that card, though?
That Super Bowl is not going anywhere. In fact, it's going to go down. I mean, the Packers aren't going to. Are the Packers saying, man, I think we need to take that Super Bowl trophy out of our case? I mean, that was too long. That doesn't count. It does. Nope.
Michigan won the national championship in 1997.
Okay.
I don't even hear Michigan fans saying we were just national champions in 1997.
Well, they're not even winning Big Ten championships.
I'm just saying,
they've fallen way off.
We talked about that yesterday. How long can we brag about a championship? I mean, that was 07, 06.
Dak Prescott's not it. If he was it, they would have paid him by now. When did it come down to this injury situation to begin with? I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for the Cowboys are going to be fine. You move on from McCarthy.
That lasted a whole 2 weeks that you actually cared about Dak.
I'm glad he got hurt, but at the same time, like, people are acting like the Cowboys are wrong for not paying him. If they don't believe he's the guy, they don't have to pay him. And I'm glad that Jerry Jones has the balls to sit there and say, I don't care about public pressure. I'm going to do what I think is best for our team. And I back it up 100%. If you look at his resume, he has a lot of wins against teams under 500. All right. And trust me, I know about quarterbacks who only beat bad teams. I'm a Baker Mayfield fan, so I know this. Dak Prescott, but Baker Mayfield's not asking for $45 million a year, $40 million a year. He's asking for Russell Wilson money, who has at least been to 2 Super Bowls, who at least, they win that division pretty much almost every year. Russell Wilson wins with less. Dak Prescott had Amari Cooper. He had Zeke. He had an offensive line. He had a defense. And last year, they don't even make the playoffs. Last year was the most talented roster that Dak played on. Couldn't make the playoffs. That's not okay. That's not a good way to, that's not a good, resume to take into an office and say, yeah, I want to be paid like Russell Wilson. Because Jerry Jones, he's going to take out Russell Wilson's resume and say, yeah, this isn't matching up. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
He wins Tony Romo.
Tony Romo, at least I'm not going into that.
He paid Tony Romo. He paid Coop. He paid Jalen Smith. He paid Lee. He paid Zeke. He better player than all of them.
Yep. And Zeke, how's that working out?
I'm just saying. Dak is a better football player than all of them.
No, he's not. That's the position that literally leads you to wins, the wins you need. And he is not getting it done.
The 2 victories I talked about, you discredited those like 2 minutes ago.
What victories?
The 2 victories that they still currently have. The Cowboys.
Christ, they're a last place team. Who cares?
So you were talking about victories when it's credible.
No. They're not like there's a lot of wins in there. They win games every year. I'm talking about the ones that matter. How about last year? The Eagles and the Cowboys. The winner of that was going to win the division and go on to the playoffs. Not only did they lose, they got shut out. How do you, as Dak Prescott, with money on the line, with the playoffs on the line, with your with your reputation on the line, do you just not show up? Like, I'm sorry, that is absolutely unacceptable. Not to ask for money, but to ask for Russell Wilson money, who shows up no matter who's around him.
I just want that same energy later in the season.
How's my energy going to change
on other quarterbacks when we get later in the season? Because somehow Dak is always the whipping guy for that.
No, not Dak. The quarterback. The quarterback position is always the whipping guy. That's the, like, for instance, when the Browns lost to the Steelers a few weeks ago, people blamed Baker. Although I'm looking at that defense that didn't do nothing, that offensive line didn't do nothing. Joe Burrow. All right, you look at that situation right there. You got guys like me and a lot of people pointing out, well, he's not winning games, not winning. It's because of Joe Burrow. No, but the quarterback's always going to be blamed for that situation. Matt Ryan right now. It's not like he's the only one that struggles when they have leads and let leads slip away. The defense is the one that gives up the lead, but we blame Matt Ryan. The quarterback, doesn't matter who it is, the quarterback is always the position that we blame when things go right and things go wrong. Hell, look at New England. New England's completely fallen apart. And people are acting like, oh, Tom Brady's gone. That's why they've fallen apart. It has nothing to do with the fact that they've had 12 combined players. Half of them have opted out. Half are out with injury. Edelman just went out for some random surgery that no one even was prepared for him to go out and get. They're doing really bad, and everyone's like, oh, it looks like Tom Brady's winning this one. Tom Brady has Antonio Brown. He has Leonard Fournette. He has one of the top defenses in the league. He has the most weapons he's ever had, and the Patriots are sitting over there naked, and everyone's like, oh, Tom Brady, he's why the Patriots were so good. That roster in New England would not look like what it does right now if Tom Brady was still in New England. So, again, the quarterback always gets the blame and gets the praise one way or another, just like coaches.
Got into that. So, AB down in Tampa, we haven't even got into that this week. It's been a wild week.
It has. Hey, Bengals fans, guess what? Just over 10 minutes. ESPN 30 for 30. I produced a new 30 for 30 about your Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to debut it coming up here 4 o'clock, or at least the promo for it. Cannot wait. Let's go to Facebook. Lamar Shelley says there's 5 to 6 teams ahead of the Cowboys for draft position. How do they move up in the order? How do they move up in the order? Have you, Lamar, the 2 wins that they've had already, they've gotten worse as the season's gone on, and they don't look like they're going to be getting better anytime soon. They're only getting worse each week. They're playing a quarterback this week, as Kev, you talked about. The only people that know who he is are his parents, and that's just because they signed the birth certificate. No one's ever heard of this dude that is starting for the Dallas Cowboys coming up this Sunday, although I did see today that Andy Dalton, there's still a small chance he could play against the Eagles.
I don't see feelings out, bro.
I don't see that and how that's happening. So, Lamar, again, if you're looking at the standings right now, yeah, we can look at that. But I still think Justin Fields, if he's there, the Cowboys are taking him. Cowboys are taking him if he's sitting there. Let's go to Ron. He says, hey, Justin, what happened to the Fu Manchu beard? There you go. It's for the costume, folks. It's a cheap costume. It was $15 for the hat, and it was 10 seconds to get rid of the goatee. So there you go. We'll be back in a moment. I'm curious people's thoughts on this as far as that's concerned. I think Justin Fields to the Cowboys makes a ton of sense. And Buckeyes fans, you should actually kind of want that, because anywhere else he goes, he won't have the talent offensively around him that he will in Dallas. We'll be back in a moment.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
How would you like the chance to win a truckload of DeWalt tools, plus the truck they came in? Yeah, we thought so. Don't miss Lowe's Provember event. Now through November 25th, you could win a set of 18 DeWalt tools worth over $3,000. And the truck? A 2021 Chevy Silverado. Enter for your chance to win at lowesforpros.com/Provember. Lowe's, the new home for pros. No purchase necessary. Starts 10/28, ends 11/25. LFP membership required. U.S. only. Entry rules on lowesforpros.com/Provember.
In 2007, Marine First Lieutenant Travis Manion was killed in Iraq after saving his wounded teammates. Travis's legacy lives on through the words he spoke before his final deployment. If not me, then who? Words that today fuel the spirit of Travis Manion Foundation. And through TMF, these words can live in you too. Show the world what you're made of, because character is invisible until it's not. Find out how you can strengthen the character of your community alongside empowered veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians at travismanion.org.
Make it a Redbox night with an edge-of-your-seat action thriller that can't be missed. Rent Ava, starring Jessica Chastain. Ava is a notorious assassin who travels the globe specializing in high-profile hits. However, when a job goes dangerously wrong, she is forced to fight for her own survival. Rent Ava, along with other new movies. Tonight, head to one of the 40,000 Redbox locations. Stream on your smart TV or visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
While serving in Iraq, an IED took both my legs, but it didn't take my spirit.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Greg Gatson, Army veteran.
DAV helps veterans and their families get the benefits they've earned.
Today, I'm an entrepreneur, photographer, and public speaker.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is just being the best that I can be.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Roosters would like to thank all of our loyal guests and all the loyal Buckeye fans for your support this year. Because of you, we've been able to stay open and keep our award-winning team employed. Our team members go above and beyond and are dedicated to providing you and your family the safest dining experience possible while still providing a fun, casual atmosphere to relax, laugh, and enjoy our award-winning food. Roosters, the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring for brand new home daily dedicated lanes. Earn up to $1,620 per week. A $2,000 sign-on bonus, medical, dental, vision, company paid life insurance. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com.
The Hustler Power October Super Event is going on now at Small Engine Service Pros in New Carlisle. Purchase a Hustler X1, Super S, Super Z, or Super Z Hyperdrive in October, and you'll receive 20% off MSRP. Visit Small Engine Service Pros and ask them to apply the Super Event promotion for 20% off. Fleet customers receive up to 32% off. Visit hustlerturf.com. Valid through October 31st, 2020. Some exclusions apply. See dealer for details. Small Engine Service Pros, 2030 North Dayton Lakeview Road, New Carlisle.
I'm LaRonda Jackson, and I'm running for state representative of Ohio's 40th District House seat, and I'm asking for your vote on November 3rd. I'm running because there's a disconnect between our House and the State House. It's a disconnect of indifference. How else can you explain our low wages and our underfunded public schools? I will fight for Ohio's most vulnerable population. Vote Jackson for District 40.
Paid for by Friends of LaRonda Jackson.
Order! Continue, Ms. Garner.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
I object to your objection. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase.
Order!
And right now, earn 100,000 bonus miles when you spend $20,000 in your first year.
I'll allow it.
No further questions, Your Honor. Well, just one. What's in your wallet?
Limited time offer. Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contactless to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
Now at Menards, save big money on your next project with 11% off everything. Update your bathroom or kitchen with IBC sheet vinyl flooring. It's waterproof, easy to install, and comes in a variety of designs to fit your style. Get 11% off all IBC sheet vinyl flooring right now at Menards. Good through Saturday, October 31st. Savings or mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Staples helps your business go big with everything you need at amazing prices. From office essentials like paper and ink to health essentials like masks and sanitizer. Save big at Staples.
He's a former Buckeyes great and now a college football Hall of Famer. And don't forget about his 13 years of NFL experience playing for the Eagles, Dolphins, Jets, and the New England Patriots. He's Dayton's own Keith Byers. Hang out with him every Monday at noon on the Keith Byers Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio.
All right, and we are back. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Coming up here in 5 minutes, Bengals fans, we will get to the ESPN 30 for 30 about your Cincinnati Bengals. I helped produce it, so you know it's going to be good. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be super. It's going to be excellent. In fact, here in 5 minutes, we're also going to hear from the True American. The True American has made his reappearance to the show. We're going to get to him in a few minutes as well. We're going to get to our ESPN 30 for 30 about your Cincinnati Bengals and the True American calling in talk little Browns. Bengals fans, you've been wanting to hear, where's the True American? The True American is officially here. So he's going to join us here after I'm going to air the ESPN 30 for 30 about your Cincinnati Bengals. Then we're going to hear from ultimate Super Browns fan himself, the True American. Let's get to Keith real quick. Keith, how are you, sir? Welcome in.
Welcome, Justin. I've got a quick thing. I don't know if you talked about it the last couple of days. I haven't been listening. Justin Turner, what a jerk. What a jerk. I mean, you knew why? Why go out there and just screw it up for everybody else? You knew what you were doing, Jack, but you were told not to go out there. You told them to F off and ditch yourself. What a jerk. I mean, they ban people in baseball for all kinds of stuff. That dude needs suspended for sure. That's just I can't even say the words I want to say right now.
No, it's all right. I came close to saying the same words you wanted to say the other day. I did bring it up. And I talked about it yesterday a little bit. I said the sad thing is like, the ratings for the World Series were like 30% lower than last year. And the World Series wrapped up the other night. The Dodgers finally win a World Series. It's one of the biggest media markets out there. And we're not even talking about the game. We're talking about Justin Turner.
What an idiot.
It's, and it's one thing if he didn't know and then he was out there, but he was pulled for a reason. He was pulled. He was told you haven't. And he just said, forget it. I know his mindset. His mindset was, man, look how long it took us to win a World Series. We tried so hard every year. And look, so he's probably thinking, you know what? I may never get a chance to do this again. But you know what? I really hope Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred comes down hard on him because that was the ultimate middle finger, not just to baseball, but to every sport out there that is doing their hardest to fight this virus right now.
I mean, we're struggling to watch football now. You're losing top players now, and you got this jackbutt doing this. And the second thing, what are the White Sox thinking? I'm a Cardinals fan. That dude ain't managed in like 35 years.
Well,
what the heck?
Think about the way the game's managed today. He couldn't do any worse. And keep in mind, this guy actually knows baseball. He doesn't have to look at a calculator.
Baseball.
Yep.
But what's going to kill him is the players nowadays, they're very social. They're getting a lot, especially White Sox players. They're very social out there doing things. And the Roosters don't like that. They're going to have problems in Chicago. Watch.
Yeah, old school. The old school way used to work. I don't know if it will now. It's not because it won't work.
87, Justin.
What?
Come on. The man's allowed to die in the damn dugout. He's 87 years old.
I'm fine. Look, if the Reds hired him, I'd be more thrilled with that than who they have right now, with all due respect to him. I'm not a big fan of the advanced analytical mindset. You saw it cost a team a World Series.
Yeah, that was just dumb. Same 3 pitches. It was game 6. We may need him to game 7. Let's take him out. That made no sense. I agree with that. I just think Caruso and the younger generation players ain't going to work at all.
Yeah, an equivalent to give you, if Bob Knight tried to coach, well, for one, he couldn't. He's not doing well. But Bob Knight's coaching style in basketball would not fly in today's game.
Yeah, it's not going to fly now in today's game. That's all I got. Go Browns. Go Springfield Wildcats tonight. Let's get that victory.
How about that? That's going to be a good one. Absolutely. Hey, take care, man. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Go Browns, by the way. And yes, a lot of good high school football matchups tonight that we'll touch on and highlight coming up here in hour number 2. All right. So Bengals fans, a lot of people who hate the Browns were waiting for the True American to call back in. And we finally have the True American. We're going to get to him coming up. But Bengals fans, you want to stick around because I have my brand new ESPN 30 for 30 about your Cincinnati Bengals. I produced it. The first promo, the first preview of the ESPN 30 for 30. I have that for you, and I have it next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Big Port 3.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Fall is all about feel-good food and family. This fall, get a home-style meal on the go that everyone will love. Stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken for a 12-piece spicy bonus box for only $23.99. Home-style can happen anywhere with 12 mixed pieces of Lee's Spicy Classic Chicken, a large mashed potatoes and gravy, and a large coleslaw, all at a great price. Get a home-style meal made easy with our 12-piece spicy bonus box for only $23.99. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
College football, it's the game you wake up early on Saturdays for, even though kickoff isn't until 7. The game where the Goodyear blimp becomes a Hall of Famer. The game that goes just beyond school, spirit, fandom, or love of the sport. It's the game where the comebacks happen. It's the game where anything can and will happen as long as you have the drive. Because college football is the game that moves you. We get it because it moves us too. Goodyear, more driven.
Pros today have to do whatever the job calls for, and the Home Depot is here to help make that easier. With a wide range of delivery options, you can get what you need, from job lot quantities to small supply runs, delivered where and when you need it. Don't want to buy the tool? Rent it. We've got the most innovative products and more ways for pros to find them, in-store and online. Pros are changing, so are we. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
With so many new pet owners, Kezia's Grooming can't keep up.
Kezia's Grooming? Sorry, we'll book solid through the weekend. I can give you a call back, though, if something opens up.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Of course we can help you with that oil change. Doing it yourself is a great way to save some money. Right now you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $28.99. And we've got even more ways to get it. Just order online with our next day delivery or free same day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. You instantly get a list of quality candidates from Indeed's resume database the moment you sponsor a job. Get started at Indeed.com/credit.
Whether it's betting on the big game, catching up on bills, or saving up for the holidays, we could all use a little extra cash this time of year. Hey, how does $1,000 sound? It's the ESPN Dayton #We Want to Get Paid Cash Contest. Listen for the word that wins every hour, starting at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. Enter the word at wingam.com for your chance to win $1,000. It's the ESPN Dayton We Want to Get Paid Cash Contest. College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio. It's the ESPN Dayton #We Want to Get Paid Cash Contest. Be listening every hour for the word that wins and enter it at wingam.com. WING 1410 Dayton, Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash with you here, of course, and happy Halloween, the day early, I guess. I don't want to see, I better not get on Facebook tonight and see grown people wearing masks. Because we've been hearing for 7 months now that masks are bad and we don't like to wear masks and that people can't breathe wearing masks. But tonight, all of a sudden, I mean, whether you have a pre-existing condition or not, people can be masking it up, you know? And look, here's my mask right here. I got this one right here. This is how I'm going to do my part in helping prevent the spread of the Rona. The ghost face right here. Right here. All right, 457-9464. We're going to get Steve from Springboro, the True American, coming up here in a moment. Real quick, Mark Absher says, I love that Boyd called out Carlos. Young guys are hungry to win. Either get on board or get off board. I disagree. We talked about this earlier in the week. I don't blame Carlos Dunlap. People keep trying. I mean, I saw Cincinnati media today, their radio guys tweeting out, oh, man, he wasn't paying attention to media. Yeah, the guy checked out. I wonder why he checked out. when your bosses don't treat you right, I don't think your attitude's the best either. So I'm not gonna sit here and all of a sudden, say, hey, this organization that has no clue what they're doing, they don't know how to win games, they don't know how to build rosters, they don't know how to. The only reason they ran into Joe Burrow is because they had to lose a lot of games to do so, and that doesn't take a lot of skill, obviously. I'm not going to reward, absolutely not. Carlos Dunlap, he's in a much better situation, obviously. And the Bengals, I don't have no clue why. Why is it like how many Bengals players have to come out and speak out against this organization before the fans realize that the players aren't the problem? I'm done on that. Actually, no, I'm not.
You're definitely not.
And he says, naturally, you would disagree. I'm telling you, you guys always take the organization's side, and I have no clue why. Like, how many players have to speak out about this organization before they finally realize, oh, maybe it's not the players. Maybe it's not me. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways. All right. Well, speaking of the Bengals, let's get to this, shall we? The Cincinnati Bengals. I've been working on this for a while. The new ESPN 30 for 30, highlighting your Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals fans, this one is from the bottom. This one's for you.
Well, yeah, I'm partway satisfied. I like your show, but there's times I just have to turn it off because you're so negative to the Bengals.
What if I told you that Bengals fans need to realize that Kinner is always right? That 5-1 is not better than 5-2.
They are so backwards. Like, do you remember when the Bengals were going to the playoffs and everyone knew they were one and done, and they used to say, "Well, at least we made the playoffs. You guys get the bottom pick."
That almost winning games doesn't count for anything, and that winning games actually matters.
See, we're not surprised because this is how Joe Burrow always plays. He's always good. He always picks up over 300 yards. He always posts touchdowns. He always runs for touchdowns.
He does, and and what's his record? 5-1.
What if I told you that Bengals fans are delusional?
That's the Cincinnati Bengal way of thinking.
It's the new ESPN 30 for 30. Our team may be a joke, but at least we like our quarterback. Produced by Justin Kinner.
Who the hell would want to play for the Cincinnati Bengals?
Coming this spring.
We don't know how much it's going to cost for people to watch it. I'm thinking about, making people pay to watch it. What would you pay?
I'm not playing these games with you, man.
It's not a game.
I do like that one better than the Ohio State one, I tell you that.
We got the Ohio State one. That was some of my best work, too. And in fact, I think I'm going to start working on weekly 30 for 30s about your Bengals team. I really am. I think that's what's going to happen. I really do. All right. Cleveland Browns.
That was mean.
About to be 6-2 after this week. And let's hear from Steve from Springboro, the true American. What up, dude? How are you? What are you for Halloween this year?
What am I for Halloween? I'm the true American, dude.
Every day of the year. Every day is Halloween. How about that?
I apologize real quick. Last Sunday I would have been there, but I had, and I know I had a union meeting and I'm an official. I had to be there, dude.
Absolutely. So, no need to apologize.
This Sunday, I will be there. Bells and whistles. I hope Jerry shows up because you know what? I've done nothing but show respect to his Raiders. I don't hate his Raiders. Why he hates my Browns, I don't know. Maybe I can get into a detailed conversation with him up there Sunday at 11:30 and see why he hates on the Browns so bad. Anyway, we're going to be just fine. We're going to get to 6-2. We're going to have the bye. Then look what we got coming up. If they're not 9-2 after 11 weeks, I'm going to be extremely upset. Extremely upset.
Hey, you're being called out. People want to know why you didn't call after the Steelers. I mean, people are blowing up at you right now on Facebook.
Let them blow up. Come face to face with me up at Fricker Sunday. I'll get right in your face. I got no problem with it. I hate Squealer fans. I hate the city. I hate the organization. Let me rephrase that. I respect them, but I hate them, if that makes sense. And the Pop Warner team down on the river, I could care two you-know-what's about. What's this guy that just called in Jack Butt? Can't you say jackass? Are you not allowed to say jackass anymore? I don't know what.
No, you can. You can.
He's saying Jack Butt. I mean, really? Come on. Anyway, long story short, we're going to get Teller back. That right guard, I'm an old lineman. That's where the game's won and lost, in the trenches. People want to talk about quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, yada, yada, yada. Those studs up front aren't doing their job. It don't matter what you got in the backfield. And remember a couple years ago, Justin, when I told you and when Slim on the show that I liked Higgins?
Yep. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is pretty good. And remember 2 years ago, I told you guys that now last year, for whatever reason, he wanted to be a little, bitch about something. Okay. Well, now maybe he's got a chance to, shut your mouth and play. And did you see the I think you brought it up about Odell.
Yes.
The stats were Baker. Yep. Here's what you got to do with Baker. And let's be honest, Bengal fans, your boy Burrow, all your quarterbacks are coming out in the NFL now. Played college ball, right? They played in the shotgun. Baker was only 6 foot tall. You put Baker in the shotgun, you roll him out on half rolls, let him make plays with his feet, and he'll be a much more successful quarterback. Now, this week, I want to see a back-to-back, and I know it was against the Pop Warner team down on the river, so, they got a sorry-ass defense. I know that, and that's what people are saying. The Raiders' defense isn't much better. So for the next 3 or 4 weeks, he's not really going to be facing a very good defense. But he's got a chance with his confidence, and if they do it right, you're going to get Chubb back. I don't see any reason why. At worst, we're going to be at least 11-5. And Baltimore, the Squealers, and the Dirty Birds play this weekend. Maybe that'll wind up in a tie. Maybe Roethlisberger will get his neck broke or a dislocated shoulder, and maybe Lamar. And you know how
that's mean.
Yeah, and you feel that's the way I roll, Dustin. Everybody else knows that's the way I roll. And Mr. Jackson, and I've been telling you this, and I told Slim back 2 years ago, he's going to be a short-lived career. You're going to run around one of these times, you're going to have a 250-pound linebacker that's just as fast as you are, going to lay you out, and then you're going to be done. So with that, I'll see you 11:30 with bells and whistles. Jerry, if you're listening, you come on up there, and I want to ask you face-to-face, man-to-man, eye-to-eye, because that's the way the true American rolls. And the reason nobody wanted to know why I hadn't been calling in, I am a true American. I'm a blue-collar guy. I'm not a white-collar person. I deal with those asses all the time and how they cheat people and do people wrong. And I have to work nights and days and midnights and all that. So that's why I hadn't called in. But
hold on, but you got to understand, like there's like Jake White
wants to challenge me or get in my face or want to do anything, kind of confrontation. I'll be at Frickers 11:30 Sunday morning. Go Browns!
He gone. What?
Nothing.
He was fired up.
Yeah, he's ready. Frickers Sunday.
Come
see him.
It's like it reminds me like when you're in school, like meet me on the playground,
dude,
brother. There you go. He's fired up. Browns, Raiders this weekend. Titans, Bengals. We're going to get into that coming up around the corner. Ohio State, Penn State. Plenty more to still get into as we close out the show over here in the next hour and a half. But yeah, that 30 for 30, man. I'm telling you, it was spot on. You didn't even get to hear it all. You didn't get to listen to it all.
Well, yeah, I'm partway satisfied. I like your show, but there's times I just have to turn it off because you're so negative to the Bengals.
What if I told you that Bengals fans need to realize that Kinner is always right? That 5-1 is not better than 5-2.
They are so backwards. Like, do you remember when the Bengals were going to the playoffs and everyone knew they were one and done, and they used to say, "Well, at least we made the playoffs. You guys get the bottom pick."
That almost winning games doesn't count for anything, and that winning games actually matters.
See, we're not surprised because this is how Joe Burrow always plays. He's always good. He always picks up over 300 yards. He always posts touchdowns. He always runs for touchdowns.
He does, and and what's his record? 5-1.
What if I told you that Bengals fans are delusional?
That's the Cincinnati Bengal way of thinking.
It's the new ESPN 30 for 30. Our team may be a joke, but at least we like our quarterback. Produced by Justin Kinner.
Who the hell would want to play for the Cincinnati Bengals?
Coming this spring.
Oh, look, it's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
We've been expecting you.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
This afternoon will be mainly clear with a high near 48. Tonight's also going to be mainly clear, but with a possible freeze warning in effect, a low around 30. And tomorrow is going to be mainly clear with a high near 54. I'm Pete Spivak from 1410 ESPN Radio.
Weather is brought to you by Cullet Propane. 98% of their customers recommend Cullet. If you wouldn't recommend your current supplier, check them out at culletpropane.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I got to tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The big hurt, right?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text BELT to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BELT to 42424. That's BELT to 42424.
I left the military with a traumatic brain injury. I came home to fight depression, anxiety, and alcohol.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Adam Greathouse, Army veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
With DAV's help, I built a new life for myself.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is just experiencing life.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Does this place look haunted?
No, I don't think so.
What about those two creepy girls?
Come stay with us.
That is truly frightening.
You know what's really scary? Missing out on Geico's great service. With Geico, you get 24/7 access to licensed agents.
Thank you, creepy girls.
Want to see our room?
We're gonna sleep in the car now.
Happy Geicoing. Switch today for 24/7 access to licensed agents.
Strict attention to detail. That's what sets Kubota construction equipment apart. It's how we maximize performance, increase strength, and give you the dependability you demand. We engineer our equipment precisely at every level. It's what makes us a leader. Save up to $11,000 on construction equipment or get 0% APR financing for 60 months. Now through December 31st, 2020. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
See Columbus Equipment Company, 7570 New Carlisle Pike in Dayton.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring for brand new home daily dedicated lanes. Earn up to $1,620 per week. A $2,000 sign-on bonus, medical, dental, vision, company paid life insurance. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
With the $10 Tastemaker from Pizza Hut, I can get a large with up to 3 toppings, so I don't have to pick between them. Nope, don't need that stress in my life. Order yours online at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Prices and participation may vary. Extra charge for pan, stuffed crust, extra cheese, and more toppings.
This is time that matters. A window of time to help protect the ones you love. Your preteen benefits from staying up to date with their well visits. This is your window of protection. Schedule their well visit now. Brought to you by Merck.
Audible now gives you thousands of audiobooks, podcasts, originals, and more, all in one place. The new Audible is your playlist for life. Download the Audible app to get started.
Don't miss the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, weekdays at 3 p.m. on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
So you want to talk about outliers? Those guys are outliers. You're lucky that this thing's separating us. That's all you got to say. For facts, though. I got your facts right here.
Listen, stream, and now watch. Search the Justin Kinner Show on Facebook to follow along. On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER and ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle.
All right. So I can't make this up. I mean, seriously, if this was going on in Cleveland, everyone would be ripping Cleveland, saying how dysfunctional of a franchise they are and how unhappy everyone is. So not even just a few days after the Cincinnati Bengals trade Carlos Dunlap away because he was not happy with his front office and with the Cincinnati Bengals, the great franchise that they are, apparently, according to the Bengals fans. Now another player is disgruntled and upset and wants out of Cincinnati, which doesn't surprise me at all. So the Cincinnati Bengals a little bit ago listed John Ross as doubtful, who, by the way, has been practicing all week. Okay. Mm-hmm. He just tweeted out. The Cincinnati Bengals tweeted out, or their injury report, he was listed as doubtful for this week's game. He's practiced all week. So John Ross tweets out, "It's not a secret that I have requested a trade. Trade me if that's how y'all feel. I'm healthy and eager to play." So is this a John Ross problem? And by the way, I know we're going to hear, John Ross, he's just not that good. And he's not. He Carlos Dunlap brought something to the table. Okay. He brought something to the John Ross. I don't know. Is that a situation where you have an organization that didn't know how to develop him, didn't know how to use him? What? I mean, I know Bengals fans approach it. They're just going to blame John Ross, just like they blame Carlos Dunlap, just like they blamed, of course, Carson Palmer. Every time a player, Hushman's out, every time a player has something to say about this organization that calls them out on their BS, what do? Carson Palmer, what a diva. We don't need him. We don't need Carson. You kind of did. Every time a player has a problem and calls them out on their BS, the Carlos Dunlap has a problem. Look at John Ross. What an idiot. He's not even that good. Okay. But don't you see how Zach Taylor's coaching staff is not handling these situations right? If John Ross isn't good, communicate with him. Tell him you're not part of the plans. They've practiced him all week. They've been half the time he hasn't even been injured, and they've been they don't even have him as active for half the games this season. What the hell's going on?
Healthy scratches happen all the time in the NFL. Healthy scratches happen with the Washington football team.
So you're delusional like the Bengals. You're defending them.
This is a fact. Healthy scratches happen all the time in the NFL. Dwayne Haskins was a healthy scratch. They told him to go home. Healthy scratches happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can talk about him being a bad draft pick all day, and we definitely agree there. I don't think they should have drafted him just because he ran a real fast 40. Like, we knew this from watching him in college. Like, he really can't catch. He's real fast, cool on the end around, cool on kickoffs, cool on bubble screens. But this the National Football League. You got to be able to catch the ball over the middle, and that's something he struggled with his entire career. So him being a healthy scratch, I mean, that's evident. I mean, they have better receivers on the team.
Man, this Bengals team has a lot of high standards for 2-14 and 1-5-1. My goodness. By the way, I'm not advocating that John Ross should be playing. I'm advocating that if he's not part of the plans, why are you not communicating with him? Like, these players it's not a coincidence that these players are coming across blindsided constantly. Like, there's no communication going on at all. Like, that's why you're having these blow-ups happen. These blow-ups aren't happening in one-on-one conversations. Mm-hmm. They're happening because they're finding out stuff the way me and you and everybody else does. Like, that's the problem I have. I'm not an advocate of John Ross. I'm not saying he needs to be playing. He's a bust. He ended up being a bust. Yeah. But not all on him. He doesn't control that he got picked that high or whatever. The Bengals made a mistake taking him that high to begin with in the first place when they had many other holes they needed to address. But the bottom line is this isn't an isolated situation. It's even going back to last year. Last year, your star players had a problem. Andy Dalton got pissed off at the front office because they didn't communicate. Andy Dalton knew that there was a chance he could have been traded at last year's deadline, but instead of them communicating with him, who, although he's no Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, he's still been your guy that was a part of 5 straight playoff appearances. And he found out that, he was being benched the week after the trade deadline. And he said, what the hell? If you would have told me, my agent and I, we could have at least explored opportunities as a trade opportunity. This isn't an isolated situation. This front office and this coaching staff has pissed off many star players. AJ Green was upset at the trade deadline last year and upset because they didn't trade him and they didn't communicate with them and those types of things. And he said, I want to be here. If they don't want me to be here, then trade me. Right. So those are the problems I have. I have no problem with, by the way, moving on from Andy Dalton. I was all for. Moving on from AJ Green. I'm off. Not giving him the extension. I was all for. Getting rid of John Ross, I'm all for. Dunlap, not part of your plans, moving on from him, I'm all for. What I'm not for is an organization and coaching staff that disrespects these players, who doesn't communicate with them. And we could sit there and say, well, the coach is in control. We know, and I know, in today's sporting world, That's not how it works anymore. You have to, if you want to, you got to treat them like human beings. They're not just little toys that you take out and play with when you want to, and then put them back in the drawer when you're done. It doesn't work that way. So that's why I'm saying where there's smoke, there's fire. This wasn't a Carlos Dunlap situation, and that's it. It's Carlos Dunlap, it's John Ross, it's Andy Dalton, it's AJ Green. Going back to Carson Palmer. How many players has this happened to where we just say, oh, well, the players are stupid. They just, they're no good. It can't always be the players. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it can't always be the players, but it's something that you and I talk about off air, on our personal life. Like, I'm a big person about leadership and communication. And when you don't have great leadership, it trickles down, to the actual employees, the people actually going to do the work. And, the players are the ones doing the work, taking on hits in practice, taking hits in the game and everything like that. But when you have bad leadership and lack of communication, that's where you get disgruntled employees. And then furthermore, when you have new guys on the team or guys that are playing good, you tend to play favorites. I'm not surprised that, Boyd is speaking out. You know why he can speak out? Because he's playing good. You know what I'm saying? He don't got really nothing to be upset about. He got his contract. He's playing well. The losses ain't on him. He ain't out here dropping passes. He ain't out here short arming routes. When he's getting the ball thrown to him 10 times, he's catching it 8 times. You know what I'm saying? If you look at, I know we're not PFF guys, but his PFF numbers is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So the microscope's not on him because he's playing well. But if you look at a guy like John Ross, whose numbers are terrible, he drops passes, he's going to be upset. But that's what it comes back to communication. Like you said, like, look, if they would have sat him down and said, look, man, it ain't going to work, man. We just going to have to sit you down. We'll call you up if Boyd or what's the other guy, number 12, Eckler gets hurt. You can be the 4th guy. But we got 4 receivers. We ain't about to be a college offense running a 5-receiver set. That don't happen in the NFL.
To the fan, 457-946. We're going to get to your phone calls here in a second. Here's Facebook reaction. Mark on Facebook says, you can't trade injured players, JK. Nobody wants damaged goods, even if healthy, nobody bites off on him. Let's be clear. There was only one player that's injured in that whole conversation. If you're talking about John Ross, he hasn't been injured. He has not been injured all year. He started out injured to start, but he's been a healthy scratch. How many weeks now? He's practicing a week and then ends up not playing. Carlos Dunlap wasn't injured. All these guys aren't injured. Like the AJ Green one was it. That's it. And still doesn't, even if you take AJ Green out of the equation, it doesn't make up for all the other issues that they are having. JK, you are so off base. No professional players are disrespected. Yeah. What? I'm off base. I'm off base. That's the craziest take I think I've ever heard. And I deal with Bengals fans every single day. No players are disrespected, Kev.
I'm not even responding to that.
But just because they make money, they're not disrespected. They have he goes on to say they have the best gear, private travel, and best food. God. Lack of communication could be due to poor attitude and lack of effort. So it's never the other way around. I'm not a perfect human being. When I have had jobs in the past, or even, I don't even care, even this one, when I get mad, and I don't like how certain things are handled, I could be a crybaby, I could be a child and not act the way I'm supposed to. I know, right? And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm better than everybody. That's a flaw, and I get that. But everyone has that flaw. To sit there, no one listening to this damn radio show right now gets treated like crap from their boss and has a smile on their face about it. So don't even. I hate when we hold these athletes to a different standard than what we hold ourselves to. Man, my boss ain't going to talk to me that way. My boss ain't going to treat me that way. This company ain't going to disrespect me that way. But the athletes, they got to just shut up and take it, right? Mm-hmm. Shut up and dribble. They just got to shut, right? They're not allowed to have a thought. They can't think for themselves. They can't have opinions on anything. They can't, stand up to their bosses. They can't stand up to their organization. That's what we're saying. By the way, that's not true. So, and then to be fair, where did Jake go? Jake Whiting said, what about Baker and OBJ ripping the health staff in Cleveland? What did you all do about that? I never defended that. Actually, I got mad at Baker when he started talking about Duke Johnson. Remember when he's talking about his money?
Never do that.
I was the first one that was on this radio station saying, hey, you can't, shut up. I defend him all the time, but I don't defend him in those. But my point to that, Jake, was that was a situation where everyone ripped the Browns and ripped the players and ripped the players right, or ripped the organization right away. and all this. But here in this situation, it's always the players are they're the problem. They're not the problem. Not every single one of them.
Right.
Maybe Dunlap was a problem. But I have a hard time believing that a guy who used to be a role model in that locker room, all right, he was a leader in that locker room. He was a captain. He was everything. Now, why all of a sudden, what's changed? What's changed? Oh, the coaching staff comes in, which they have every right to revamp anything that they want to. I'm okay with that. I wouldn't like it. I don't like if they want to move one of my favorite players, but they have the right to do it. But there's also a right way and a wrong way to do things. By the way, John Gruden, remember him? He got absolutely blasted. Remember when he took the Raiders job? He didn't even I think he got hired at the beginning of the summer, obviously in the offseason.
Yeah.
And I think they went like 3 or 4 months. He didn't even talk to Khalil Mack. Remember they didn't move and that was like the big thing of like, how could you not even speak to your star player? He got ripped for that.
People's defense.
Yeah. So, and by the way, that's one front office mistake that I'm happy for heading into week 8 with the Browns facing the Raiders. I tell you that much. But no, like you see, this isn't just a Bengals problem, folks. It's across the board. There's lots of examples of front offices who have not handled themselves correctly. Right now, the Bengals, though, and any other organization, we're saying, oh, man, it's chaotic. He's lost control of that locker room. How come we're not saying that in this situation? Because if this was happening in Cleveland with Kevin Stefanski, we wouldn't be saying, oh, it's just the growing pains of a coach taking over a roster. No, we would be saying, oh, typical Cleveland. How come it's not typical Cincinnati? I'm just curious.
I got nothing, man. It's a bad look for the Cincinnati Bengals not to have communication with players and multiple players at that. You just got to – I would stress all Bengals fans to see how it is. You know what I'm saying? This has been a long process trying to rebuild the team, and the main culprit in the rebuild is the ownership. And we could talk about, coach, and we could talk about GM, who is also the owner, but the main person that's always been there is the owner. So the problems always stem from the top down, and leadership top down, man. You have good leadership, you have good management, you have good employees. It works. That's just how it works. I mean, you don't see these type of problems. Well, when you do see these type of problems, it's really nipped in the bud with New England Patriots, Pittsburgh Steelers, Ravens. Like the franchises that you always think like, oh, man, they always got a chance to win it. It's because they have great leadership from the top down.
And that's why the Browns, who do not have great leadership from the top down, even when they make good moves, they don't feel like – that's why they don't get respect when they make good moves. Like when they went out and got Kareem Hunt and OBJ and Hooper, if any other organization, like for instance, the Buccaneers, who I don't think are like a top of the line franchise, by the way, like let's just be clear.
Right.
But they still seem more respected than the Browns and many other losing organizations in the league because they got man, look at them. This organization, they just get it. They got Tom Brady. They're making the right moves. They're taking a chance on Antonio Brown. They go out and get Leonard Fournette. They're buttoning up everything. They get praise when they make moves like that. The Browns go make big moves like that, and everyone's like, yeah, well, talent doesn't win. But the Buccaneers, they got Antonio Brown. They got Leonard Fournette.
Right.
Super Bowl. Oh, the Browns get OBJ. They get Kareem Hunt. They ain't winning the game. Until further notice, they're still the Cleveland Browns. But when the Buccaneers, who aren't a great franchise either, they go out and but they're a respected franchise, or at least more respected.
Where are you at with this AB signing?
I think they're talented enough that it was worth the risk. I think it made more sense for them to go after him than the Seahawks not the Seahawks. The Seahawks that were fine, but like the Ravens and some others, because if he went to the Ravens, they would be very dependent on him.
Mm-hmm.
But Seattle could try it. If it didn't work, they still have the number one offense in the NFL. The Buccaneers, if it doesn't work, that's fine. You still have weapons galore all over the place. I thought it made sense. I didn't think it would make sense for him to go to a place that he would be the featured guy. He still could work his way into being the featured guy, but with Godwin and those guys, when everyone gets completely healthy, they won't be Antonio Brown dependent. That's just the rich getting richer. If he had to go to Baltimore, they're solid receivers, but they still don't have a true, like their passing game has taken a huge step back from a year ago. They would depend on him, and then if it didn't work out, they would be out of the Super Bowl conversation at that point. So I don't mind it. But real quick, the Browns added good players. No one respects it. They're not a good organization either. Bengals fans go at me all the time about the Browns. I agree with you. They're not a good organization. Like they're going to win games in spite of being a bad organization. I don't know how long it'll last, but I'm just saying they're winning games right now. But It's not. I don't look at this Browns team and say they're set up for the future. I just don't. And
when teams that have been down try to dig their way up, I'm more of a on that. Show me before I can believe you, because over the past years, you haven't shown me that you've been capable of it. The Browns are showing me they can win games now, and what you have to do as a Browns fan is continue to win. Well, continue to win. They continue to win. And as they continue to win, you build up that equity, you build up that credibility. And then, we all know what's going to happen next season. Say the Browns make the playoffs. Whatever their playoff run is what it is. They win a game, they lose the first round, it is what it is. But you've built up, in my eyes, you've built up that equity to say, all right, they're definitely a team we need to keep an eye on. And then that next season, what do you do with it? And to be perfectly honest, I think that the Bengals are building up equity. I know it's not necessarily developing in wins, but like I keep saying, they're in these games. They've only been blown out once. So I think that is a step in the right direction for them winning and losing and everything like that. I'm not sure if this coaching staff is going to last too long, but what I do know, I feel like they do have a good quarterback in Joe Burrow, and having a trigger man, that's the most important role on the team. As far as AB, Tampa Bay going to the Super Bowl,
with or without him.
With him.
I mean, I think without him too, but definitely with them.
I know everybody is like, oh man, Godwin, Mike Evans. Antonio Brown is a Hall of Fame wide receiver. He's the second best wide receiver Tom Brady's ever played with, hands down.
And if his attitude's fixed, he could be the best wide receiver. And I know he played with Randy Moss, but Antonio Brown had that type of talent to surpass all-time greats at that position. He hurt himself.
He is a monster. And you want to tell me that, AB's going to be our third guy. We're going to line AB up in the slot. It's a wrap. There ain't nothing you can do, because you have to double Mike Evans. You have to. He's too big. He's too fast. You have to put two over there. So we're literally going to leave a linebacker or a safety on Antonio Brown. Are you kidding me? Because guess what? They can run positions where they have AB, Godwin, Mike Evans, and Gronk on the field at the same time. It's over. They're going to the Super Bowl. And it's just a matter of who they're going to play out the AFC.
I think we kind of know.
Is it going to be KC? Is it going to be Tennessee? Is it going to be the Ravens? Or is it going to be the Steelers? Most likely it's going to be KC. We're putting, if we all had money, we probably would put it on KC. But my biggest problem with my Pittsburgh Steelers is the things that they do well, it works on everybody except Tom Brady. You blitz Tom Brady, he kills you. And guess who else, if you blitz, he'll kill you? Young gunslinger in KC. You blitz him, he kills you. So their defense is great versus everybody else. But these two guys are so unique and so smart and know how to get rid of the ball so fast and have so many different weapons, is not going to work. It's just not.
All right. And real quick, back to the Facebook feed here. Doug Toby says, why would Zach want to play John Ross? That'd be like Mark Ashman pulling you off the end of the bench to play. Let's be clear. For one, Mark Ashman never pulled me off the bench to play unless we were down. I was the victory cigar or the Kenner, just go get us out of this game, would you? That's basically what it was as far as that goes. But for one, Doug, I don't know if you're coming in late to the conversation or just not comprehending what we're talking about, but I never said that he was that John Ross was a great player. I never argued that they should have been playing him. I'm talking about the communication. John Ross isn't mad that he's not being played. There's clearly, sure he wants to play, but it's the same issue that happened with Carlos Dunlap. It's the same thing that's going on with Geno Atkins. There's the same thing that was going on with the communication stuff last year, going back to AJ Green and even Andy Dalton. John Ross tweets out, it's not a secret that I have requested a trade. Trade me if this is how y'all feel. I'm healthy and eager to play. Keep in mind, Zach Taylor told reporters and everyone that he has a stomach flu, that he's not feeling well. John Ross is saying that's not true at all. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm ready to go. So why are they lying, Kev? That's that weird stuff that I'm talking about, that something's not right behind the scenes. He goes on to say, I know I can be productive. Okay, that's debatable. It's hard, and here's where I agree with him. This was my point earlier. We always act like the players just have to put up with how their organization treats them. We as people, when our bosses treat us bad, when our company treats us bad, what do? We get angry. We get upset. It impacts our work ethic. It impacts how hard we want to work. It impacts, us coming to work on time. We start taking a little bit longer breaks than we should. For those working at home, you're probably not working as hard as what you should be. Trust me. stop acting like you can't relate to these athletes from that perspective, because I love this line from John Ross right here. It's hard to love something when you're not actually participating in it. Believe me, it's not football that I don't like. This isn't him with an attitude problem to the sport of football. He's not being treated right. Playing him is not treating him right. Communicating with him is treating him right. I'm not advocating for the Bengals to play him more. Communicate with him. Talk to him. And if I'm one of the better players and I see that the organization treats the crap players like that, that's still not a good look for your organization. Right. I'm just saying, as far as that goes. But all right, we'll be back in just a few moments. 457-9464, and we'll get back to your calls, your Facebook reaction next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app anytime, anywhere. Listen to more than 300 stations along with more than 3,000 podcasts from your home area or across the U.S., all free.
With the radio.com app.
Did you know that 3 Ohioans are diagnosed with oral cancer every day? Or that pregnant women with poor oral health are more likely to have low birth weight babies? Oral health is critical to overall health, and poor oral health can lead to other medical conditions like heart disease and infections. Dentists are trained to recognize life-threatening conditions and to treat oral diseases before they become serious health complications. Dentists are doctors of dental surgery. They complete a total of 8 years of training after high school, including 4 years of college and 4 years of graduate training in dental school. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education, training, and resources. Ask if your dentist is a member of the ODA so you know you are being treated by the best. For more information or to find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, during our Veterans Day sale, save $1,000 on the Queen Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed, now $1,799. Only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Make it a Redbox night with an edge-of-your-seat action thriller that can't be missed. Rent Ava, starring Jessica Chastain. Ava is a notorious assassin who travels the globe specializing in high-profile hits. However, when a job goes dangerously wrong, she is forced to fight for her own survival. Rent Ava, along with other new movies, tonight. Head to one of the 40,000 Redbox locations. Stream on your smart TV or visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
Fall is in the air. Fall projects are on the list, and the Home Depot is ready with more ways than ever to help. Use our mobile app to search, shop, and save. Choose flexible delivery options that bring everything you need right to your door. And if you need tools for a project, but not forever, you can rent them. You won't find a better toolbox anywhere else. Take on fall and fall projects now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Mike Foley is proud to serve as our Montgomery County Clerk of Courts, and he's asking for our vote again this November. Mike is a father, a U.S. veteran, and has been a small business owner for over 20 years. He's not a career politician, but a leader that gets things done. Mike Foley has saved taxpayers over $3 million in less than 2 years in office by running the clerk's office more efficiently. He truly brings the courthouse to the community. For all the right reasons, let's re-elect Mike Foley, Montgomery County Clerk of Courts.
This is Mike Foley, and I approve this message.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Roosters would like to thank all of our loyal guests and all the loyal Buckeye fans for your support this year. Because of you, we've been able to stay open and keep our award-winning team employed. Our team members go above and beyond and are dedicated to providing you and your family the safest dining experience possible while still providing a fun, casual atmosphere to relax, laugh, and enjoy our award-winning food. Roosters, the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5560 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5560. Enjoy.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. You instantly get a list of quality candidates from Indeed's resume database the moment you sponsor a job. Get started at Indeed.com/credit.
Hey everybody, it's Stephen A. Smith, and everyone knows my feelings on Cowboys fans. But really, Justin Kenner, you're a Cowboys fan and a Browns fan? Good Lord have mercy. I don't know what the hell to do with y'all. I really don't.
It's the Justin Kenner Show with Kev Nash. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com.
All right, and we are back. Justin Kenner, Kevin Nash with you on 1410 ESPN Radio. So, again, you have the Bengals and the Titans coming up this week. The last I checked, the line was 5.5 in favor of the Titans, obviously. That line interests me as far as that's concerned, mainly just because Tennessee, up until their matchup with the Steelers, we were talking about them as, they're one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the AFC. I think that line is too close. So I'm picking the Titans in the blowout. We're going to get to our NFL picks coming up here around the corner. I know the Titans' defense is not as strong as it was a year ago. Maybe they're giving a little love to the Bengals' offense. I'm not sure. I think that's kind of laughable. Their offensive line's real banged up. Joe Mixon, all those guys. I haven't seen the final one heading into Sunday, but a lot of guys were a lot of people had their eye on Joe Mixon and some others kind of throughout this week. So we'll see what's going on. I don't think he is playing as far as that's concerned. So that's going to be interesting. We'll have all that coming up for you here. In hour number 3. 457-9464. Kev, who we have?
We got Ted.
Ted, you still there?
Ted
or Ed, or who we got here?
This is Ted from Dayton.
Ted from Dayton, what's up?
How you doing, Justin?
Good.
Love the program always, brother. Listen, can we switch gears for a second?
Absolutely. I'm tired of talking about the Bengals, so please help me.
I just wanted to give you a couple ideas. I'm an old-timer that is just real traditional baseball, man. And I thought, I cannot stand this cybermetrics crap.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, I thought, well, maybe there's a compromise where, first off, only 2 men are allowed to play on either side of second base. No 3-man stuff. Number 2, infielders can play only to their heels touch the outfield grass. They cannot play in the outfield. And number 3, you cannot have 4 outfielders in the outfield. Now, that's traditional baseball. They're doing everything they can do with this electronic garbage to ruin baseball and traditional baseball, and it just makes me sick that they are allowed to do that. I think you get a Sparky Anderson, you get a Tommy Lasorda. Those guys would whip butt on any guy that wants to play the game with his computer. I'm
with you. Let's look at this playoffs, for example. I forgot what game it was in the American League Championship Series with the Astros. And Dusty Baker ended up sticking with his pitcher who was starting to struggle a little bit. And he said, there's a veteran pitcher. He said, you know what? I think it was Greinke. I think it was Greinke where he just said, we're going to stick it out with him. He's starting to slow down, but he ended up getting better as the game went on and pitched out. So he let him pitch through it. Now, fast forward to the World Series and Cash, and your starter is rolling, striking out 9 through 6 innings, only 70 pitches, and then he tries to overmanage the game because the analytics are saying the third time through the order, he takes him out, and look what happens. So I'm with you 100%. I like that Tony La Russa's back in baseball. I think the old school managers, I think you need a little bit of that just to kind of remind these guys that, hey, baseball was fine. Why were you trying to change? I think the advanced analytics are good for the front office for trying to analyze talent, but to take it to the extreme of dumbing the sport down to, hey, when this happens, do this. When this happens, do that. Baseball's not built to do that. Everything can change. Like, I don't like a season-long batting average because if a
lot of gut instinct. A lot of gut instinct, and these older managers, Clint Hurdle, for example, these guys have been playing their whole lives, and they know what to see, and they know what to look for. Tony La Russa is the same way. Bring the old blood back and let them play baseball the way it's supposed to be played. To me, when you got 4 guys in the outfield, that messes up statistics. Nobody else played 4 guys in the outfield before. So, you got a lot of guys losing extra base hits. You got a lot of guys losing base hits to the infield because you got 3 guys on the right side of second base. That's not right. That's not the way the game was designed, and I'm sorry. That just makes me sick to see that kind of garbage going on. But
and to your point real quick there, because someone just messaged in and said, well, how come we don't complain about basketball that way? There are a lot of people that complain about basketball, how it shifted to the 3-point line. But keep in mind, with the way that the game has shifted, the new way of basketball has still created stars, Steph Curry, and even the 7-footers shooting threes. The new style of basketball still creates superstars and is still good for ratings. Baseball's new way, it's killing the stars. I mean, the new way of baseball is convincing managers in the sport that, hey, we need less of our stars. We need less.
Absolutely.
Anytime the analytics is telling baseball and its fans, you're going to see less of the star pitchers moving forward. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all.
I agree, man. Well, I really appreciate you taking my call, man.
Hey, thank you for being patient. You take care. And thanks for getting me off the Bengals, man.
Hey, they got to get an offensive line, man. Then they'll maybe go somewhere, I hope.
Absolutely. Hey, take care, man. Have a great weekend.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Later, Ted.
All right, good stuff. 457-9464. Doug Toby says, Zach, back to the Bengals. Zach is trying to do the right thing, trying to make players accountable, put up or shut up. If you're whining and not practicing right, you're not going to play. We're not there every day at practice watching them screw up. And Doug, you're not there every day watching the front office screw this up. In fact, we all get to watch it as a whole. Browns fans, Bengals fans, Raiders fans, NFL fans. We all get to watch the front office screw up this entire organization every Sunday when they embarrass themselves. So I disagree with you completely. Now, keep in mind, that's probably the case for some players. I'm not saying all players don't have bad attitudes, but I think the bad attitudes are a result of how they're being treated from the front office in this situation. Your mic's off.
I'm back. Blame pie. Let's do the blame pie.
I like pie.
So if we're breaking this down into a pie, what percentage of the Bengals' woes do you put on the organization? What percentage do you put on the coaching staff? What percentage do you put on the players?
We'll do that during the break, so I could do a fair analysis of that. Because if there's one thing I am about the Bengals, it's fair. Yeah. Just saying.
Oh my goodness, man. So obviously tomorrow is Halloween, man. Are you passing out candy at your house?
Does this look like a face that the kids are going to want up and get candy from? Absolutely not. I don't like kids. I don't want kids coming up to my house. Me and Nora, we put up a sign that says, please don't knock on the door.
Your house going to get egg putting up that, man. We just turn off the lights, especially this year.
Ooh, that's a better idea, probably. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, especially this year with COVID, man. Like,
well, we won't even be home tomorrow anyway, so there you go. That's the smart thing. Tell everyone on the radio that your house will be open for you. So anyone that wants to go rob our house, you just go right on ahead. I mean, I might as well just give out my social security number and my address while I'm at it. My goodness. Maybe I am as dumb as people say. Seriously.
I'll tell that story off, Matt, because that was funny, that thing that happened to you that one day. But anyway.
Oh, God, just forget it.
No, you don't want me to talk about it.
No, probably not. Dude, this thing's hot. I'm like sweating, but this might be how I lose weight. I just need to do the show in this mask every day, and we'll be good.
Oh, goodness.
We'll be good as far as that's concerned. We got our NFL picks coming up around the corner. We're going to talk, of course. I mean, look, I think, Bengals fans didn't hate me before. They hate me now.
Absolutely. They do.
So Shaw has his pie.
Okay.
85% on the owner, 10% coaches, 5% players. And I think that's roughly about what similar to mine would be. I do know the majority of the blame has to go to the owners.
Yeah.
The second, well, I'm going to put two because I also don't know how much power does Zach Taylor have. He could still communicate, though.
Right.
Is it the owner who's making the decisions on roster management? Is it Zach Taylor? I don't think. I mean,
it's Mike Brown.
I think he's only had his permit for a year. I mean, I don't even think. Like seriously, I mean, maybe when he graduates high school, you can maybe give him a little bit more responsibilities. From my good. Now, I just think that it was a bad hire at coach. The ownership doesn't make good, decisions as far as that's concerned. I agree with that little pie chart right there. 85% on the owner, 10% coaches. Actually, I'm gonna go 75% owner, 20% coach, and keep it at 5% players.
Okay, so same question. Where do you put the Patriots' success over the years? Obviously, this year is just like they're heading into a cliff, but over the last decade, they were the model franchise in the NFL. So where do you put that?
I think that's 50% ownership, 25% coaching, 15% players. I think that's a perfect balance between the ownership and the coach as far as that's concerned. And that's hard to find. There's only one Bill Belichick. Mike Tomlin, maybe you could put up behind. No one's come close to doing what Bill Belichick and the Patriots did. And I think it's super unfair every time I hear people start talking about, Tom Brady's proving that it was all him. That's not fair to do. Tom Brady, look at the stars. He has more stars with him in Tampa than he ever did with the Patriots. And Bill Belichick has way less talent now than he ever did with Tom Brady. And it's not just because Tom Brady's gone. So I can't buy into that right now, all of a sudden, that Tom Brady has won this. The only thing about the Patriots I don't get, they do this Edelman procedure randomly out of nowhere. Players are opting out left and right, and which is fine because of COVID. I get that, but it just seems odd to me. The only thing that didn't make sense was the Cam Newton signing. Cam Newton could ruin things for you if he kept at the pace he was to start the season.
Yeah, the first 3 weeks of the season, it was they did it again.
Yep.
But I don't want people to forget, man. He did come down with COVID. He basically, it's a report that he's only practiced 3 times in the last 3 weeks. And, I'm listening to the guys talk about it, especially the former Patriots players, they really practice. Everything that they do is almost basically how a high school coach, they go over the stuff that they're going to be doing in games as opposed to walkthroughs. They're doing everything that they're going to be practicing in games. They're doing in the game and practice and everything like that. So I think a lot of that has to do with the lack of practice time that they had because of their starters basically being down with COVID. Their best 2 players caught COVID, Gilmore and Cam. So I think that has a lot to do with it. But yeah, I would definitely put the organization high, the guys behind the scenes and making management decisions and having that communication with the coach and the players and the staff and everything is huge, man. It's one of the biggest things that we have to deal with. What about the Browns?
The Browns, that one's interesting because they're a bad organization. A lot of people, when I bash the Bengals, they think that when I'm bashing the Bengals, they think that I am just automatic. The worst things I say about the Bengals, they think that I'm assuming that the Browns are equally as good the other way.
But remember, it's this regime of the Browns. This regime of the Browns isn't the same regime of the Browns of last year.
And see, the reason the Bengals ownership gets more blame is because they don't have a general manager.
Right, exactly.
They're selective when they want to bring Tobin into the conversation, and we don't know if Katie, what kind of role she has in a lot of this. Everyone says, Katie had an influence on finally moving on from Marvin Lewis and blah, 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 yada, yada. I don't know. As far as that's concerned. The Browns, it's been a year. It's not even a full year with this current one, and they're winning games. But no offense, they should be winning games. When you have talent, you should be winning. I'm not willing to get.
But Andrew Berry's the guy that hired Stefanski, and I would be I know it's a lot of Browns fans out there that were mad that they got Stefanski. They wanted McCarthy. And how's that looking?
I wanted
right
McCarthy,
now?
but I still don't think, like, for instance, hiring a guy in McCarthy that's won a Super Bowl, that was part of a regime that drafted Aaron Rodgers and developed Aaron Rodgers. That's why I wanted them to get him at the time, because and by the way, I would not have blamed them if this screwed up. Like, if they would have got Mike McCarthy and it didn't work out, for one, it would have looked worse for Baker, because then it would have been like, oh man, another coaching staff comes in and they can't do anything with him. Stefanski's pushing the right buttons. But I that's why I was like, I get mad at the draft and people say, oh man, I can't believe they're such idiots with how they draft it. You don't know. It's a crapshoot, man. It's like the NCAA tournament. Like, you have no clue what you're just hoping for the best, especially the further along you get into the draft. I can't give a percentage of success or blame to anything in the Browns front office right now. The Browns ownership has made so many mistakes.
Yeah, ownership is bad, but I think they're doing something right now with Andrew Berry and basically being hands off and letting the football people be football people. I remember when the Haslams hired Mike Holmgren, and basically was hiring his friends, and it led them into a brick wall. And on me being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I could care less, but it's just funny. But like now, you don't hear Jimmy Haslam, you don't hear D Haslam. All you hear about is Stefanski and Andrew Berry and things that are going on now. So, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. Like, it looks like the Browns are turning the corner, and that's not just obviously with winning games on the field, but things that they're doing in the front office, actually letting the football people be football people and having a GM in place. I would only imagine that the Bengals are seeing what's happening in Cleveland and say, you know what? We can't let them get away from us too. It's one thing to have Pittsburgh ahead of us. It's one thing to have the Ravens ahead of us. We can't let the Browns be ahead of us like that either. So Bengals, I say this 1,000,001 times, man. The pressure you can put on ownership is not to go to the games. It's not to buy the jerseys, because all that money is going to his pockets. He doesn't have a GM. They don't have a scouting department. That is unacceptable. As a fan, you should want more. You should demand more.
I'm with you as far as that goes. Real quick, Josh Maloney on Facebook says, 100% the GOAT. They are nothing without number 12. Talking about the Patriots. Dude, I'm telling you, Tom Brady's not winning with this group. Not in New England. He's not winning with that group. Like, Tom Brady's really good. He deserves credit for what's going on in Tampa, because I think you have an adult running the quarterback position now. I mean, obviously you had Jameis Winston, who threw 30 touchdowns, by the way. And I said this the other day. Jameis Winston throws 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. If he cuts those interceptions in half, and 5 of those interceptions become touchdowns, Jameis Winston is probably an MVP.
Yeah.
So it's the turnover. So Tom Brady instantly changes the Buccaneers just from taking care of the ball. But keep in mind, I think you could have brought in any quarterback. No offense, I'm not diminishing Tom Brady, don't get me wrong, because Tom Brady takes him to the next level. But you could have brought in any quarterback to cut those turnovers in half, and the team would have been instantly better. This wasn't a bad team. Tom Brady didn't take a bad team and turn them into a good team. They were already a good team that had a quarterback's mistakes keeping them down. Yeah. So the Patriots, though, this roster, Tom Brady's not doing anything with them at all, period. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. And then Josh Maloney says that Brett Favre developed Aaron Rodgers. That is not true at all. That's not even close to being true.
Huh?
Yeah.
They hated each other.
Yeah, they did.
They're both egomaniacs.
Mm-hmm. Which is why they thought his career was coming full circle, because when the Packers drafted Jordan Love, there was talk of Aaron Rodgers giving Jordan Love the same treatment that Brett Favre gave him and said, hey, you want to be great, you're on your own. That's basically, the tough love that Aaron Rodgers got when he got welcomed to the league.
Blue 32!
Absolutely. All right, folks, we'll be back in a moment. Hour 3, NFL Picks, Week 8's next.
Can you breathe?
No.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up.
Good night.
There's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell and engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Hi, I'm Brooke Burke. Do you ever consider just how important your feet are? They're quite literally the foundation of your body. And if you don't take care of them, you're asking for problems. That's why I wear Skechers' new Arch Fit shoes. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to make a shoe that provides total foot and arch support. They used 20 years of data to design a podiatrist-certified insole that distributes support across the arch no matter what foot type you have, providing extreme comfort. Get Skechers' new Arch Fit at a Skechers store near you, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Pros today have to do whatever the job calls for, and the Home Depot is here to help make that easier. With a wide range of delivery options, you can get what you need, from job lot quantities to small supply runs, delivered where and when you need it. Don't want to buy the tool? Rent it. We've got the most innovative products and more ways for pros to find them, in-store and online. Pros are changing, so are we. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Where is your haircut gone? We know you don't get out as much. You don't drive by your regular Sport Clips and pop in for that MVP haircut experience that is so much more than a haircut. But isn't it worth getting out for? For that legendary hot steam towel for your face, massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat. Oh man, you remember that, right? We found your haircut. It's right where you left it. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
I saved big money with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, so I finally bought that new set of golf clubs. Watch out, Fairway. Here I come.
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big with Progressive, but your other expenses won't just disappear. Are those clubs going to help you when the hot water heater dies? Also, it sounds like your money is better spent on golf lessons.
Time to go shoot the course record.
No, but maybe time for a reality check. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Staples helps your business go big with everything you need at amazing prices. From office essentials like paper and ink to health essentials like masks and sanitizer. Save big at Staples.
Hey, who wants free money? Who are we kidding? We all do. It's the ESPN Dayton hashtag We Want to Get Paid Cash Contest. Listen for the word that wins 18 times a day, starting at 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. Enter the keyword at wingam.com for your chance to win $1,000. It's the ESPN Dayton hashtag We Want to Get Paid Cash Contest. All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio. 1410 WING-AM.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
We are Dayton's ESPN radio station. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash with you here. This thing hurts like you would not believe. Ow! Oh, Lord. What? We're off and rolling. Justin Kinner, Kevin Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Happy Friday. And we're going to have a little fun here in this final hour. We're going to get to our Week 7 NFL picks. Of course, we got a lot to get into there. We're going to preview Ohio State, Penn State coming up. We are live on Facebook. Head to Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show, watch, and follow along. I've been Mario today, Ghostface from Scream. Got a UD football helmet on now. Forget one costume.
You got multiple, man.
You have a lot of flexibility when you just sit down for your job. So there you go. Allison Spurk on Facebook. Hi, Allison. She says, as of right now, Joe Mixon is out. Trey Hopkins out. Jonah Williams out. Bobby Hart is out and Sam Hubbard out.
OH.
So there's that. Man, they're good with them. What are they going to look like without them? Just saying. Run for hurt. David Shaw says, are there 7 guys in the scouting department for the Bengals? David's wrong. Kev, how many do they have in their scouting department?
5. According to their website, they have 5. According to the Pittsburgh Steelers site, they have 12. Ravens have 12, and I'm currently looking up the Browns.
I bet they have less too, and that's why the Steelers and Ravens are dominating the division. And then look at the 2 jokes down at the bottom in the Browns and the Bengals.
No, the Browns have 12 as well.
Oh,
so
well, that's why they're 5-2. I mean,
Steelers, Browns, Ravens have 12. It's according to the website, 12. Bengals 5. So I am wrong. They do not have 0 people in their scouting department. They have 5.
They get knocked for the joke of a scouting department they have because
they have less than half of everybody else in their own division. That's a problem.
Well, no, this is funny. The Bengals actually say that it's actually an advantage because that's less people in the room arguing over players and personnel. Actually,
no one says that.
What that means is there's 6 people in there who don't know what the hell they're doing. That's clearly and then someone's like, well, they seem to do pretty well with Joe Burrow. Any dumb team out there would have taken Joe Burrow. And there's nothing wrong with it. What I mean is that's like a for sure thing, of course. Like anyone who was sitting there number 1. They got rid of 2 last year. Wow. David, you're not winning this one. Who cares? Who cares how many they had? The point is they have significantly less than everybody else, and that's what they get knocked for. I don't understand. Like, what's the obsession with having to be right about the exact same amount? You try to smart off to act like, Kev was wrong. What we're saying is like they get knocked all the time for not having a good scouting department. Anyways, whatever. On to NFL picks, week 8.
And the Browns have 9 assistant scouts.
Oh, wow.
So this is according to the website. So,
well, there you go. Hey, week 8, NFL season.
Hey,
a lot to get. The Browns have one more game before their bye week coming up, and they have the Raiders. We're going to get to our pick with that. The Bengals, of course, have the Titans. Let's start now. Last night, the Falcons and the Panthers went head-to-head, and I tell you what, Matt Ryan, 281 yards and 1 interception. Who would want that guy? I would rather have Baker Mayfield. He completed 20 straight passes, 5 touchdowns. My goodness. How about last night, though, by the way? So Andy Dalton gets rocked last week, and no one came to his defense. Last night, Teddy Bridgewater, he gets popped. And he had a whole bunch of guys ready to come to his aid.
He was playing good until that. Until he got his neck snapped. He was playing good ball, and then after that, he couldn't complete a pass.
Curtis Samuel, last night, big game from him.
Once a Buckeye, always a Buckeye.
Unless you're Tate Martell. All right, let's get to it. Week 8 NFL picks, the Patriots and the Bills. Buffalo at home, 5-2. Patriots 2-4. Do they fall to 2-5? Buffalo is a 4-point favorite.
This is do or die. This is it. Because obviously they're ahead of them in the division. The Bills over the Patriots. This is do or die. They die. They lose this game. It's over for the Patriots. Their run is over.
I don't think the run's over.
Not
this season's over. As far as that goes. Yeah, I'm picking the Bills here, and this is it's crazy, this division right now. I keep comparing the Bills and the Browns to one another, where they started out hot, then they have those 2 losses back to back where there was a lot of doubt. Mm-hmm. This is it wasn't about who the Browns played last week. It was about the way they played. Yeah. The way they played sparked some confidence back into them. They could have beat, if Baker would have only thrown for 175 and 2 touchdowns, and Kareem Hunt scored all the touchdowns to win the game, I don't think the Browns feel as good about themselves this week as they do right now, mainly because of how they played. It's not who they played, it's how they played that they got that confidence back. This is a chance for the Bills. They get a win over the Patriots, whether it's a good Patriots or bad Patriots team. You're 6-2, and all of a sudden you're sitting at the top of that division, and it's holy crap, the Bills are going to pull this off. A lot of football left to be played, but the Bills, I think, are the real deal as far as that division's concerned. I don't know big picture expectations playoff wise, but again, winning the division, getting to the playoffs, that's a huge back-to-back years at least to the playoffs. But winning the division, that's just another year where this team takes another step forward. Again, the addition to Stephon Diggs has been huge so far for Josh Allen,
big time.
So I'm picking the Bills over the Patriots, and that one. The Indianapolis Colts are on the road. They're 4-2. They're at Detroit. Detroit started out horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, backwards hat bearded guy.
Yeah.
He's coaching for his career, man.
He must have heard me talking trash about it.
Exactly. Now, they are 0-2 at home, but they're 3-3 on the season, and they are a 3-point underdog against the Colts. Do they get the upset win over the Colts?
Man, I should have looked at the injury report. I'm going to say the Lions win this game. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they win this game. I say Stafford pulls off another miracle like he did down there in Atlanta. You all right over there? A little tight. Ow.
Dang, that hurt. I'm done with that helmet. I promise you that much.
I'm going to go with
I
Detroit.
got what I needed. What's that? I can't hear. I can't see. I'm a little dizzy. It was like a vice grip, man. My goodness, that was unbelievable. As far as that's concerned. See, I can't even talk right now. All right, so Lions, Colts. Colts a 3-point favorite on the road. I'm gonna say the Colts get the win. The Colts are one of those teams where they keep winning. They still don't have that win that you look at and say, "Oh man, this team's for real." And besides, I think the Titans are the face of that division right now, anyway. So I think that's what's also keeping people from really buying into what the Colts are doing. But look, the Colts, they have the Lions this week. They get the win, improved to 5-2. That's a big step for them because keep in mind it's going to get really tough for the Colts moving forward. They need this win against the Lions. Look at this. This is brutal. The Colts right now are 4-2. They're going to be 5-2. I'm picking them to beat the Lions. Okay, they better not lose to the Lions because if you lose to the Lions, you're 4-3. You got the Ravens next week. You got the Titans the following week. You got the Packers. You got the Titans again.
That quick?
That's the next 4 games. The month of November is absolutely brutal for the Colts. Again, at the Lions so again, they get the win this week. That puts them at 5-2. They can, honestly, that's brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal. They could be 6-5 by the end of November, or it could be a lot worse than that. They could be under 500 by the end. It's going to be tough for them as far as I'm concerned. This is it's a crucial game for the Colts as they look to remain in playoff contention. Because like I said, you have 2 with the Titans, 1 with the Ravens, 1 with the Packers. That's going to be a tough stretch for them as far as that's concerned. 4 straight division leaders as far as that goes.
Yeah, they got to win this one.
Vikings, Packers. Packers a 6.5-point favorite at home. They welcome in the Vikings. Packers 5-1. They shook off that blowout loss to the Buccaneers from 2 weeks ago, and they did it. And look, I like teams like that. They can get beat bad like that, put it behind them, and move forward. I think that I'm not willing to say that the Browns necessarily did that. I think they found their confidence within the game, but you could tell the way that game started. The Browns didn't have confidence to start the game versus the Bengals. They found their confidence as the game went on. The Packers, they didn't let that loss to the Buccaneers get to them. After the game, Aaron Rodgers, he was smiling after the game like, yeah, it happens. Good teams get blown out all the time. He was confident in moving forward, and you could tell they're going to improve to 7, or they're going to improve to 6-1 after this matchup with the Vikings. The Vikings aren't getting this one.
That's about that equity I talked about. You know what I'm saying? When you're a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who's seen so much and been in this league for so long, and you have bad games, but that equity he's built up by winning big games year after year, completing Hail Marys. Like, I don't know how he's the number one guy ever to complete so many Hail Marys, but you got that equity. People believe in you. Like, all right, man. They brush it off as a bad. Hey, man, Aaron Rodgers had a bad game. It happens.
Happens the best for them. And
it's going to be all good on Sunday. They're going to beat the crap out of the Vikings.
So the Jets are going to be 0-8 on Sunday. Every line is 1 possession this week except for 1. Every line is 1 possession. Oh no, 2 of them changed. When I checked earlier in the week, every line this week was was a 1 possession line for every matchup except this one. This one's insane though. It was 19.5 yesterday. It's 20.5 today. The Chiefs at home. They welcome in the 0-7 Jets. They are 20.5-point favorite. For one, are they covering that? And 2, how much are they? We know they're winning. Are they covering it? And how much are they winning by, in your opinion? The over-under, this is how bad it is. So the over-under is 49.5.
Oh, my goodness.
That is super low for a line that is at 20.5. So that means the Jets and the Chiefs defense isn't dominant or great. That's so much disrespect towards the Jets. And I don't even mean that in a funny way. That's not disrespect, but that's just the reality of how little respect they have. They are bad. Trevor Lawrence, keep your COVID self at Clemson for another year. Don't go to the Jets. Kansas City wins by 30 plus in my opinion.
Woo, you pulling college scores. I don't think they win by 20. I think they win by 24.
Jets can't beat a college team. My goodness.
I think they win by 24.
So they cover.
Yeah.
They'll cover. Rams, Dolphins, the debut of Tua Tagovailoa. The Dolphins are 3-3. They have won back-to-back games. They're coming off of a bye week. Keep in mind that, of course, there was a lot of controversy with this a little little bit because, you look at, Fitzpatrick and led them to back-to-back wins. The division's vulnerable. Keep in mind, at the time that they got their second win, the Bills had lost 2 straight. Mm-hmm. And the Dolphins were like, man, if the Bills keep kind of falling off this cliff, we're riding some momentum right now behind Fitzpatrick. They can maybe end up accidentally kind of competing for that division. They benched Fitzpatrick, which should have been to the surprise of nobody. Tua Tagovailoa should have been the starter from the beginning, in my opinion, but who cares? Here we are. He's the starter now. Does Tua Tagovailoa get a win in his debut? The Rams are only a 3.5-point favorite. I say yes. I say Tua Tagovailoa balls out. I think he throws for about 275, but I think he'll throw 3 touchdowns and an interception. I think the Dolphins beat the Rams, and the Rams have a good defense, but I'm telling you, I still think Tua has a big game.
If Fitzpatrick was QB in Dolphins, I would have picked him. With Fitzpatrick at the helm and the Los Angeles Rams being on a short week, they just played on Monday Night Football, traveling all the way from LA to Miami, I would have picked them. But a rookie QB going up against Aaron Donald, going up against probably the number 1 secondary in the league, I'm going to go with the Rams. I'm smelling a pick 6, Jalen Ramsey.
Picking on the right, never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Picking on the lefty? Picking on the rookie? What?
On the rookie. Don't talk about him like he's a rookie because you get all excited about the rookie that's over in Cincinnati right now.
Who, me? No. I would like.
He's a walking interception himself, by the way. Will it be 5 straight weeks with the pick? I say yes. Anyways, we'll get to that pick in a moment. Chargers, Broncos. The Chargers are a 3.5-point favorite. Justin Herbert, who I believe is the best rookie quarterback in the NFL this season, not by much. Him and Joe Burrow, the 2 top rookie quarterbacks. And I think by the time it's all said and done, we're going to look at Tua as the best of all 3 of these guys. But that's just how good this quarterback class is coming out of the 2020 NFL draft. I think that, 2-4 Broncos, 3.5-point underdogs at home, and I'm going to go with that too. Justin Herbert has another big game. He's very efficient. He doesn't turn the ball over. Broncos aren't a good team. I think that Justin Herbert continues his tear in the NFL. They improved to 3-4, and all of a sudden, you look at the way things are shaping up in that division. The Chargers improving to 3-4, and it's like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, they can make something happen as far as that's concerned. They ain't going to win the division, but the Raiders, if they end up losing this week to the Browns, which I believe that they will, all of a sudden the Chargers are jumping up into second place. They could be competing for a wild card. I think Justin Herbert gets his team to the playoffs this year.
Every QB has a bad game, especially a rookie QB. Herbert hasn't had that bad game yet. I'm picking that bad game to happen this Sunday.
Because he's a rookie?
No, I'm just saying every quarterback has a bad day. Like, I'm picking this week to be his bad day. First, Denver. Denver has good corners. They have a good pass rush by Chubb. Really wish they would have Von Miller back there. That it really caused some terror. But, the Broncos have been playing better. They had to win over the Patriots where they kicked like 6 field goals, for goodness sakes. That doesn't really win you a lot of games in the league. But I'm going to roll with the Broncos.
Chargers are better than the Patriots, and you don't beat good teams with kicking all field goals. Just throwing that out.
The Cali boys is headed to Denver. It's snowing. It's cold.
Herbert will be all right. Herbert will be fine. Herbert's the man. He's the man. Saints, Bears. Bears are the home team. They're welcoming in New Orleans. New Orleans a 5-point favorite. All of a sudden, the Saints are picking up steam.
Yeah.
You were ready for them to fold. You couldn't wait. You were sitting there drooling, salivating. You were just like, oh, man, I hate Drew Brees. I hate Drew Brees.
No.
And now look at Drew Brees. Look at Drew Brees, man.
I've always said this. Drew Brees is my favorite quarterback ever to come out of the Big Ten. I just think his arm is shot.
There's not a whole lot of good quarterbacks that come out of the Big Ten.
The best quarterback of all time came out of the Big Ten.
The second best is Drew Brees. There's not a whole lot. The list isn't very big. It's not like there's just like, I'm just saying, not that there's many that out of the SEC either, as far as that's concerned.
It means more.
First of all, Tom Brady technically is out of the Big Ten, but I don't allow anyone, the Big Ten's not allowed to claim him.
What?
No one was like holding Tom Brady up on a pedestal in college and saying, oh, he's the next big thing. Like, give me a break. That's like with UD. If Kostas Antetokounmpo ends up turning into a star, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's a flyer. He's a flyer." He was crap when he was here. The UD fans, not all, because there'll probably be 1 or 2 listening. They're like, "Oh, I never said anything bad about him." That's what we do, though. When it's good. Tate Martell. Let's just say that he magically resurrects his career.
All of a sudden, Buckeye fans
will be like, "I knew he had it in him." I knew he had it in him as far as that goes. No, so the Bears are a 5-point underdog at home. That's an interest. I'm surprised it's 5.
Man, I meant to pull this audio from Monday Night Football where Greasy was talking about Foles, and he basically said, yeah, there's sometimes when they call plays, he knows there's not going to work because the coaching staff is not seeing what he's seeing out there. And they basically say no audibly. You can check to run plays, you can check to passes, but you can't audible to say basically be out there Jim Kelly style calling your own plays. So I think there's a lot of dissension going on with the Bears, with the coaching staff. So I got the New Orleans Saints big.
Hey, those players, they just need to shut up and do what they're told.
Robots.
All right. You know, what the coach says goes. They don't even know those bad attitudes. See, in Chicago, it's turmoil. In Chicago, it's, oh, man, they're losing control of their team. But in Cincinnati, it's just bad apples. Bad players. Not good players at all. David Shaw says, if Tom Brady went to Ohio State, you'd be drooling all over him. Me?
I know I would.
Me? But I would also be calling out, too, like, I would also be sitting here right here saying that, okay, no one saw that coming or anticipated it. And it's not like, I mean, I don't know.
He went to Michigan. I can't stand the fact that he went to Michigan, but he's the GOAT. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, shoot, Devin Bush went to Michigan. I desperately wanted my Pittsburgh Steelers to draft him because I knew he was going to be a great fit for us at middle linebacker. Once you get to the pros, I don't care where you went to school. Can you help my team win? Cool with me.
Well, and it's fun too. I mean, it proves that to be a star, you got to leave Michigan. So. Hey, Shaw, by the way, Michigan got a 5-star recruit today, but basketball, not football. Football, you know, we talked about that yesterday as far as that goes. All right, back to our NFL picks for Week 8. By the way, I'm picking the Saints 5-2. They'll improve, too, again. And the Bears, you know, but the Bears, you know, there's a little bit of bickering back and forth, too, between Nick Foles and you know, head coach Nagy. So that's kind of interesting what's going on there. Nick Foles, I know you're a Super Bowl MVP. You've won a Super Bowl, but, like, I don't know what to feel like. He's putting his chest out. Like, I kind of like it a little bit. Like, he's the leader. He's the starting quarterback. Like, you brought him there for a reason, right?
Right.
You made him the starter. That's the position where you like your leadership to come from. It's weird that it's coming from Nick Foles, but, I mean, someone needs to speak out on that team to kind of, you know, make sure that they're going to keep it going because they were one of the more surprising undefeated teams to start the season. Obviously, they're 5-2 now, but I think they might be 5-3 after this week. Eagles, Cowboys, both teams 2 wins on the season. The Cowboys are on the road. This game was a 1-possession line earlier in the week, and now it's 10.5-point line. Philadelphia. I mean, it's the worst division in football. How bad are the Dallas Cowboys that you are a 10.5-point underdog against the Philadelphia Eagles? Who you got winning this one?
Man, I'm rolling against the Cowboys until they show me something. Until they show me something on defense, I can't pick them. I just can't. I mean, obviously Dalton's not going to play. Dak's out. You're playing quarterback for them. I mean, you can have as many wide receivers and cool running backs and cool toys if all you want, but if you can't get them the ball, it doesn't matter. And more importantly, if you can't stop the other team from scoring, what are you going to do? Miles Sanders is going to be running all over them.
See, here we go. All of a sudden, we hit the hornet's nest. Michigan fans got all up in their feelings. All up in their feelings. Shaw,
not at me.
You know, David Shaw says most wins in college football.
Oh, no.
Yeah, here we go.
Don't get me started on that, man.
Most wins in college football.
How many of them happened before 1970 where everybody was allowed to play? You know, integration.
Trey Green says, hey, Kenner, how's Haskins doing? I love when people do this thing where they start having arguments that no one's having. Like, what do you think that we're saying? Did we say that our quarterbacks are better in the NFL than yours? No. I was actually knocking the entire Big Ten. I was including Ohio State in that too. Ohio State quarterbacks are not good in the NFL. I thought everyone knew that. I'm not arguing that they are. So again, they're coming at me. Oh, how's Dwayne Haskins? And then of course Shaw comes back with, and Troy Smith too. They're not. They weren't good NFL quarterbacks. So what? We didn't say that they were. This started because of Drew Brees, by the way.
Drew Brees. I just said Drew Brees my favorite quarterback.
And I was making a joke saying, well, it's not like you had a big list to choose from because the Big Ten as a whole doesn't have a lot of good quarterbacks in it.
And then I said Tom Brady was the GOAT. So how can Michigan fans get mad at me giving props to Tom Brady?
And then when Justin Fields comes to the NFL and kicks ass in the NFL, he will be like, keep in mind, the first Ohio State quarterback that comes in and like wins multiple Super Bowls and does well, I'll view them as the better complete package because they would have dominated at both college and the NFL. Like I said, to be a star, you got to leave that team up north. So Trey Green says, I'm coming at you with razor blades and lemon juice, Kenner.
Ooh.
We've had some weird lines this week. Like, what did Ron say earlier in the week? He said that he hated me more than he goes, I hate Kenner more than tacos without sauce. I was like, I've been told that I'm hated a lot, but not more than tacos without sauce, by the way. Which tacos without sauce, I agree. It's bad. Yeah. We want angry Kenner. Kenner's relaxed today.
It's early.
It's not. It's almost 5:30. We got to keep going. Kenner, come on, focus. I'm picking the Eagles in this too, mainly because I'm picking them in my Eliminator League. Literally. But the problem is like everyone in my Eliminator League is picking the Chiefs against the Jets, and rightfully so. My theory is this. The Browns were the last 0-16 team. That's hard to go 0-16. Like, they were in a lot of those games, too, the year they went 0-16, Kev. Like, they didn't get blown out a ton. They lost a lot of close games, okay? Sound familiar? What I mean by this is, like, the Jets are going to win one eventually, and it's going to be a game that they shouldn't. I don't think it's going to be against the Chiefs by any means, but in my Eliminator League, everyone's theory is, I'm just going to pick whoever's going up against the Jets. I'm staying away from that theory.
Saving it.
Because eventually the Jets are going to, like, put it together one week. Not that they're going to be, a hot team moving forward, but they're going to catch a team napping one week. Mm-hmm. One team, there's going to be a talented team that goes in that doesn't take them serious. The Jets are going to be feeling good about themselves one of these weeks, and it's just going to be the perfect storm. I don't think the Jets go 0-16. I think they're going to get a win at some point. So I'm not going to follow the same model that everyone else is, where I'm just going to pick against whoever, I'm just going to pick whoever the Jets are playing. I think that's a dangerous game to play. I'm picking the Eagles this week, although I definitely think the Chiefs win, but I'm just saying I'm staying away from that game of following the opponent of the Chiefs.
Fair enough.
Are you checking out? Like,
no,
you seem like you're just like you're trying to prove me wrong on something. I can see that.
No. I'm looking ahead. I'm looking at the schedule because I think you have to go to this big game because I'm ready for your slander.
Oh, geez. Buccaneers, Giants, Tampa Bay. Get to see Antonio Brown, right? Does Antonio Brown get to make his debut coming up on Monday Night Football?
Yes.
Buccaneers 5-2 on the year right now. Looked as the best team in the NFC on the road at the Giants. This is another one right here. I think I should pick Tampa as far as that's concerned. But Tampa Bay, a 12.5-point favorite on the road. Definitely picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as far as that's concerned. That's an easy one.
Tampa big.
Although you have the big speedster and Daniel Jones. Look out for him in the open field. He might make something happen.
You see he was out. Him and Saquon were out on the town.
Oh, yeah.
And
he doesn't know it. Like, it's all good. I mean,
living for the city, man.
He was hanging out with Justin Turner. So there you go. 457-946. All right, let's go to it. The matchups right here. Another big one. The Steelers and Titans were the biggest matchup of the week last week. The Steelers have another big matchup coming up here this weekend. Steelers, Ravens, Baltimore, though, this line surprised me as well. This is the most surprising line of the week. Baltimore, I would expect, I don't care which one's a favorite. I would expect it to be a 3-point line one way or the other. Baltimore's a 4.5-point favorite.
Really?
You see what I mean? Like, if I saw Baltimore a 3-point favorite because they're at home, I'd be like, okay, I could see that. If the Steelers were a 3-point favorite, I'd be like, okay, I could see that. But the 4.5-point line, that seems large.
Seems pretty high. I was gonna say like a 2.5 at most.
I agree.
For the Ravens. Ultimately, I'm going to pick the Ravens in this game. I think they need this game more than Pittsburgh. They're also coming off a bye week. Steelers coming off a physical game versus Tennessee, hanging on to win that game. I'm going to go with Baltimore in this first matchup with the Steelers.
I'm going with the Steelers. I think that we're going to find out this week right now that the Ravens are not as good as what we think. They're really good defensively, but Lamar and that offense has not been playing well. Like last year, they were the best running team in football overall, but they were sneaky good with the pass too. Like we were so enamored by what Lamar Jackson was doing with his legs that we weren't paying attention to how good they were through the air. This year, they're not as dominant on the ground. Lamar's still very dangerous in the open field, obviously, but he's not dominating in the passing game like he did a year ago. He's not repeating his MVP. It doesn't mean that he's not a good player this year. I'm just saying that they are not as dominant. I just don't think that offense is as lethal as what it was a year ago. I think the defense is really good, but I'm not sold on that offense. And with that defense of the Steelers, I think that it's going to neutralize the offense of the Ravens. And as good as the defense is for the Ravens, I still think that you see a smarter Steelers team come out on top of this. Both two teams very well coached, good players on both sides of the ball, on both rosters. I just think that the Steelers right now, they're playing the most well-rounded football in the NFL right now. They're not the best offense. They're not the best defense, but they're the best overall team in regards to balance. No inconsistencies. We haven't seen any inconsistencies at all. We've seen inconsistencies in the Buccaneers. We've seen some inconsistencies with the Chiefs. I'm not just talking about because the Steelers are undefeated. I'm just saying, like, they just seem to have a very good feel of who they are and what they want to do. And that starts with Mike Tomlin, as much as that pains me to say. So I'm picking the Steelers, getting the win.
Wow, I just read this article real quick. This is the first time that Ben and Lamar will play versus each other, because they already played twice in Lamar's rookie year before he took over as the starting quarterback. And then obviously Ben was out all of last season, so those two matchups didn't even happen. So this is the first time they're ever going to play versus each other. That's pretty cool. I do kind of like the same way I look at the Buckeyes. I look at certain things about Pittsburgh, and especially the two, Ben threw 3 interceptions. One was a tip at the line that got picked off that really don't matter to me. But the two that he forced he threw one in the end zone, which is unacceptable, and another one he threw like a mile behind Juju. So those are the type of things that stand out to me when you play against the Ravens. Like, you give the Ravens the opportunity to catch an interception, they're going to do it. So if Ben does another 2-3 interception game, they're definitely going to lose. But this is definitely the game of the week for me.
In the middle of all this, David Shaw is still spitting out Michigan stuff. And with Michigan not playing football from 07 to 14, Michigan still has more Big Ten titles than anyone. So you could digest that information however you want. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger.
Hey, man, holla at me. Nothing counts until 1970.
So there you go.
Shouts out to Harvard. They won a lot of national championships too.
All right, on to the final two matchups here to preview again, the Titans and the Bengals. Tennessee, a 6.5-point favorite on the road at Cincinnati. I'm taking my Bengals trolling cap off. I'm going to put my Mario cap back on. Okay, just so we're clear. We good?
Yeah.
Let's be clear. I'm not trolling the Bengals here, but this line's stupid. Like, the Bengals, I don't get it. They're missing so many guys.
Yeah.
They're not a good football team. The Titans are really good. They just went blow for blow with arguably one of the best teams, arguably the best team in football. I can't put them as the best, but either way, they're top 3. I don't understand how Tennessee's only a 6.5-point favorite against the Cincinnati Bengals. 12.5. 12.5. I mean, look, the Bengals their defense is garbage. The offense, with Joe Burrow throws 300 yards a game, blah, 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 blah. First of all, I mean, I'm just looking at this saying, hey, look, I know that the Titans defense isn't as great as what it's been in years past, but this defense or this offense has a habit of making you look better than what you are. So I'm just saying, I think the Titans win by double digits. I'm not trolling. I think that anyone out there that isn't talking bad about the Bengals every day like I do is probably agreeing that this line is laughable. This is going to be a close game. It's going to be a one-possession game. Now, I know the Bengals are good at playing one-possession games, and they're good at losing one-possession games. There, I put it back on for just a second. I don't see this being a one-possession game, though. So good news, Bengals fans. The Bengals will not lose a one-possession game this weekend because it won't be a one-possession game. I think that the Titans win by double digits as far as that goes. Like, for the Buccaneers are a 12.5-point favorite against the Giants. But the Titans are only a 6.5-point favorite against them. I mean, I'm mad because they're the favorites, but not by enough, apparently. Either way, my point is Tennessee's winning by more than that. I'm taking the over as far as that's concerned.
I think Tennessee bounces back after that loss versus Pittsburgh. I think Derrick Henry really gets on track. Everything that the Bengals are lacking up front on the defensive end, I think they're going to really pound the ball. And I see another big stat game from Joe Burrow, and I actually do see the game being pretty close in the first half. the things that Pittsburgh were able to do versus Tennessee's pass defense, a lot of crossing routes, a lot of underneath routes. Those are the passes Joe Burrow excels at. So I expect the game to be close early on, but I do expect Tennessee to cover, though.
Well, I'm gonna give the Bengals fans a taste of their own medicine. You're not facing the Browns defense this week. I mean, I know the Titans defense ain't great, but I mean, you had success against the Browns defense, whose defense is actually worse than your own. So just so we're clear. But okay, either way, we said all of that to come to the same conclusion that the Titans win, and there you go. Browns and Raiders. Browns a 2.5-point favorite. And right now, as we sit here again, they're coming off that win last week against the Bengals, which again, everyone you could poke fun at and say, oh, it's just the Bengals. It's not who they played, it's how they played. Look, they didn't look that dominant against the Bengals, even though they did put 35 points up the first time they played them. It didn't look as smooth as what you would like. It looked smooth this past weekend. Baker's super efficient. He's going to be efficient again. I don't expect him to complete 23, 25 passes or anything along those lines. But I definitely see him having a big game. I'm surprised we haven't heard from Jerry today. I think Jerry talks, he calls in every week, every day, talking smack about the Browns. And the 1 week that he's facing his Raiders.
And Steve called today.
Oh, yeah.
Called him out.
He keeps calling, yeah. And no Jerry. Jerry calls every day of every week, every day of the week to talk smack about the Browns. And the 1 week that his Raiders are facing the Browns, all of a sudden he has nothing to say. Yeah, Cleveland wins this one. They're going to be 6-2 heading into the bye week. They'll remain undefeated at home, and that's going to set up that big one with the Titans coming up here in a few weeks after their bye. I hate bye weeks. I hate it. When's the Bengals bye week? I'm looking at them now, but
I'm gonna go with the Browns to win this game. I think this is gonna be one of the more entertaining games of the week, right up there with the Ravens and Pittsburgh. But opposite, we expect a slugfest with the Ravens and Pittsburgh. One of those like 21-17 type of games. Expect a lot of fireworks in this Browns Raiders game. I'm expecting like some 38-35. A lot of Big 12 football action in this game. So it's gonna be some touchdown scores. It's gonna be very entertaining. I'm gonna go with the Browns to win that game.
Keep in mind too, I guess this is good. Let's get both bye weeks out of the way. The Bengals and the Browns both have next weekend off.
Look at that.
So one team,
a lot of halfway through the season, we got some talking points.
Oh yeah, a lot of talking points. Like one team's gonna be 6-2, and the other one's 6-1. A lot of talking points as far as that goes. And that is our Week 8 NFL Pick'em. Submit your picks at wingam.com. Again, it's our NFL Pro Pick'em Challenge presented by Frickers. Weekly winners receive $25 in Frickers Fun Bucks. Doug Toby says, "Okay, if the Bengals only lose by 6, you're going to wear a Bengals jersey." Didn't you learn your lesson last week? Didn't you learn your lesson last week? Come on, Doug. The Bengals, that's a weird hill.
Double or nothing.
That's a weird hill to die on, the Bengals. And you know what? Fine. Fine. I agree. I'll do it. Doug Toby says, okay, if the Bengals lose by 6, you're going to wear a Bengals jersey next week. I'll wear it one day next week. You pick the day. He did go through the work of getting the jersey out and washing it and all that stuff, make sure, So that's great.
One day.
During the time of COVID, I'm willing to, never met Doug, don't even know who Doug is. Sure, why not? That's how confident I am. Doug, deal. In fact, to be honest, I was going to go as Andy Reid for Halloween this year. The first idea I had was going as a Cincinnati Bengals fan. I thought there could be, but I couldn't find any clown outfits anywhere. But I should have just done it. I've noticed all the Bengals memorabilia is 50% off, everywhere. I'm poor. I could have afforded the 50% off Bengals gear everywhere. By the way, I'm at Kroger the other day, getting some chips, getting some stuff to make some salsa. I turn around in the grocery store, and there's a whole rack full of Burrow stuff.
Joey
B.
Joey B. Athens, Ohio.
Kroger is – he's not going to help you guys. Just saying. What? He's the second best rookie quarterback in the NFL, and he's the fourth best quarterback in that division. I would like to buy my chips and salsa in peace. For the Bengals fans who are just tuning in, play the 30 for 30. We're going to commercial break.
Lord.
Well, yeah, I'm partway satisfied. I like your show, but there's times I just have to turn it off because you're so negative to the Bengals.
What if I told you that Bengals fans need to realize that Kinner is always right? that 1-5-1 is not better than 5-2.
They are so backwards. Like, do you remember when the Bengals were going to the playoffs and everyone knew they were one and done, and they used to say, "Well, at least we made the playoffs. You guys get the bottom pick."
That almost winning games doesn't count for anything, and that winning games actually matters.
See, we're not surprised because this is how Joe Burrow always plays. He's always good. He always picks up over 300 yards. He always posts touchdowns. He always runs for touchdowns.
He does, and what's his record? Oh, 1-5-1.
What if I told you that Bengals fans are delusional?
That's the Cincinnati Bengal way of thinking.
It's the new ESPN 30 for 30. Our team may be a joke, but at least we like our quarterback. Produced by Justin Kinner.
Who the hell would want to play for the Cincinnati Bengals?
Coming this spring.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Trick or treat.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
This afternoon will be mainly clear with a high near 48. Tonight's also going to be mainly clear, but with a possible freeze warning in effect, a low around 30. And tomorrow is going to be mainly clear with a high near 54. I'm Pete Spivak for 1410 ESPN Radio.
The Advantage program from Stevenson Service Experts takes the stress out of maintaining your home comfort system. Pay no money down, one low monthly rate, and nothing for maintenance and repairs. The Advantage program from Stevenson Service Experts. Learn more at 866-EXPERTS or StevensonHVAC.com. See website for license details.
Have you played Turtle Creek Golf Course yet? Formerly Greenville Country Club, Turtle Creek has local, state, and national recognition for excellence. They also have some world-class facilities, like the famous Thirsty Turtle Lounge, a full-service restaurant and bar with seating for up to 200 guests. Come try the Turtle's famous chicken wings, or Fish Fridays, Steak Saturdays, or Sunday brunch. Learn more at www.turtlecreekon36.com. Turtle Creek Golf Course and the Thirsty Turtle Lounge. Great food, great golf, and a great experience.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
College football, it's the game you wake up early on Saturdays for, even though kickoff isn't until 7. The game where the Goodyear blimp becomes a Hall of Famer. The game that goes just beyond school, spirit, fandom, or love of the sport. It's the game where the comebacks happen. It's the game where anything can and will happen, as long as you have the drive. Because college football is the game that moves you. We get it because it moves us too. Goodyear, more driven.
Advance is helping you get your engine ready for the road this holiday season with the right oil, the right filter, at the right price every day. Get 5 quarts of full synthetic Mobil 1, Valvoline, Castrol Edge, or Pennzoil Platinum with the Mobil 1 oil filter for just $33.99. Plus, this holiday season, get a $25 NBA store gift card and 2 times Speed Perks points instantly with the purchase of 5 quarts of Mobil 1. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
What are real people saying about Skechers Arch Fit footwear? Joe from Hilton Head says, I need arch support, and these shoes have it. Joe, Skechers Arch Fit don't just have arch support, they have podiatrist certified arch support that was developed with over 20 years of data. Next, Pete from New York writes, great for walking. I stand a lot of work, and the Arch Fit keeps me comfortable. My feet don't feel tired at the end of the day. Okay, Pete gets it. He's walking, working, just living in Skechers Arch Fit. These shoes are great for virtually everybody. Find podiatrist certified Skechers Arch Fit at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Fall is in the air. Fall projects are on the list, and the Home Depot is ready with more ways than ever to help. Use our mobile app to search, shop, and save. Choose flexible delivery options that bring everything you need right to your door. And if you need tools for a project, but not forever, you can rent them. You won't find a better toolbox anywhere else. Take on fall and fall projects now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
They can bulge, go bald, wear down, flatten, or be in dire need of replacing.
No, guys, it's not you.
We're talking about your tires. Let Fat Boys get your car rolling again, safe and sound. Fat Boys carries tires in all makes, styles, and sizes, including Continental, Goodyear, Michelin, and more. Check out Fat Boys' new location in North Dayton at the corner of Needmore and I-75 or 3050 Springboro Pike in South Dayton. Fat Boys, your ultimate resource for wheels, tire, service, and accessories. Look for Fat Boys at fatboysdayton.com.
Looking for fall flavor that really brings the heat? Enjoy a home-style meal with a kick at Lee's famous recipe chicken, thanks to our spicy jumbo dippers combo for only $6.49. Dip into your spicy side with a big helping of our spicy jumbo dippers, an individual side, a fluffy biscuit, and a regular drink, all at a great price. It's the easy way to fire up your taste buds. Get a home-style meal made easy with our spicy jumbo dippers combo for only $6.49. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
John McManus is running hard to be our Montgomery County treasurer. Montgomery County is already one of the highest tax counties in the state. It seems like every day we're being told to pay higher and higher taxes. Now, in the middle of a pandemic, we're told to get ready for another tax increase next year. When John McManus was vice president of the largest school board in Montgomery County, he fought against property tax increases. As our next county treasurer, he'll stand with us again. This November, vote John McManus for Montgomery County treasurer.
I'm John McManus, and I approve this message.
Welcome to Pipestone Golf Club with a 4-star rating from Golf Digest and recognized as the best course to play. Pipestone is a favorite in the Miami Valley. The Arthur Hills design masterpiece is carved into the sweeping foothills and ancient oaks of southwestern Ohio. The course provides a quality challenge to golfers of all levels, and everyone is welcome. Be sure to call for a tee time, then bring your friends and play America's greatest game on a golf course that truly sets itself apart. Pipestone, a great golf experience.
You know, I don't know what my family would do without our Medicaid and Medicare benefits, but I just found out there may be a way to get even more benefits with no extra costs. That's why I called United Healthcare. United Healthcare showed me how I could get more benefits than I get with original Medicare. A dual complete plan from United Healthcare combines my doctor, hospital, and prescription drug coverage into one plan, plus provides additional great benefits at no extra cost, like dental and vision coverage, rides to and from my doctor, and credits toward health items and food. It's easy to see if you're able to get more benefits. Call United Healthcare at 1-800-222-CARE. That's 1-800-222-CARE. The call is free and there's no obligation. Call soon because the deadline for Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Call United Healthcare now at 1-800-222-CARE. That's 1-800-222-CARE.
Paid actor portrayal. Benefits and availability may vary by plan and location. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Audible now gives you thousands of audiobooks, podcasts, originals, and more, all in one place. The new Audible is your playlist for life. Download the Audible app to get started.
College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. We are Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, and tomorrow night, Ohio State, Penn State. Biggest matchup of the year for the Ohio State Buckeyes, at least until they play that team up north later on in the year. Now, keep in mind, so for those watching live on Facebook, there you see it, Ohio State, number 3 in the country, heading on the road, taking on number 18, Penn State. Earlier today, the line was 12.5. Right now, the line has shifted to 10.5. Obviously, you know, the money line's moving a little bit. I'm worried, but I'm not like going to lose sleep tonight. But like this game, I'm uncomfortable about this one. Penn State worries me.
Yeah, Penn State is the biggest threat to Ohio State in the Big Ten. Like we talked about last week and weeks before, like a lot of these games are one-possession games. Last year they won by 11, and years past they've won by a point. Matter of fact, that JT Barrett game where they had that crazy comeback and JT looking like an NFL quarterback until the following week. And, you know, these games are great. These games are exciting. These games are fun. I do have us winning, to nobody's surprise, but I have us winning 35-23.
35-23. The over-under is 64.5 for tomorrow night's game. Again, Ohio State, Penn State. Penn State losing the way they did, of course, to Indiana definitely, it dampers the matchup a tad, but I don't think that them losing to Indiana changes the fact of, just how good and who Penn State actually is. Mm-hmm. We saw Ohio State, play Nebraska tight in the first half. Of course, Ohio State pulled away in the second half. In fact, they beat Nebraska so bad that, Ryan Day had to apologize at the end of the game. But look, these two teams have played each other 34 times. Ohio State leads the series 20-14. But the one thing that makes me nervous about this game is just how tough Penn State plays Ohio State. I know we talk a lot about the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, but let's be clear. That's a traditional rivalry that just, we talk about. We gear up for it every year. We love beating the brakes off them. But from a competitive standpoint, Michigan is not the Buckeyes' competitive rivalry anymore. They're not their competitive rival anymore at all, as far as that's concerned. So to me, Michigan is not a factor anymore. Penn State's that team every year that I look at, and I circle them on the schedule. Even though we know where Michigan always falls on the schedule, Penn State's always the one that I'm like, that's going to be the test. That's going to be what keeps us from getting to where we need to go if we can't get past them. 4 of the last 6 meetings have been decided by one possession, and since 2005, Ohio State is 5-1 at Penn State. But this is going to be probably the most bizarre atmosphere at Penn State ever. No fans in the stands.
Yeah, this helps Ohio State not having the whiteout conditions and the fans in the stadium, everything like that. It favors Ohio State for sure.
Ohio State looked a little rusty last week. That's a given. Obviously, week 1. How much rust do we see in game 2?
Not a lot. I think the Ohio State passing game gets busy. We saw Michael Penix Jr. from Indiana basically in the fourth quarter do whatever he wanted to do in the passing game. And Michael Penix Jr., for people that are not familiar with him, he's a former track star in the state of Florida. He's like a hurdler. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a potential to go to the Olympics as a hurdler, but he decided to play football because he loves football. So track star playing quarterback, now throwing for like 300 yards or 250 or whatever over you. Now you got a guy that's been playing quarterback since he was 5 years old. Justin Fields is going to do his thing tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for that quarterback matchup as well. Again, Ryan Dave, James Franklin. We talked a lot about Penn State and James Franklin yesterday. This is, right now, this is why I love the 14 playoff, Kev, because this is a playoff game tomorrow night. If this was an 18 playoff, Penn State they're still probably making the college football playoff this year. The 14 playoff is where it's at. Tomorrow night, Penn State, and a win over Ohio State doesn't guarantee Penn State anything, as we've seen in years past. Penn State wins the Big Ten title back in 2016. They beat Ohio State, and they still don't even make the college football playoff. But for them to even have a chance to be screwed out of the playoffs this year, they have to beat Ohio State tomorrow night.
Do or die.
So that's going to be the thing that's going to be key tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, Ohio State, Penn State, biggest matchup of the year for the Buckeyes, of course, until they play that team up north later on in the season. This is going to be a good one. Ohio State, a 10.5-point favorite. I can't pick this team. I can't say I'm not comfortable picking a close game in this because it's Ohio State. They don't play close games. They blow everybody out, even the teams that they should. Last year, an 11-point game. I say Ohio State wins 38-27. And that defense is not last year's defense. I think it's 38-27 and a blowout, an 11-point win. 38-27 Buckeyes tomorrow. That's my prediction.
As long as the Buckeyes win, I'm full of Keith Byers.
All right, there you go. Folks, have a great night. Make sure you come out and hang out with Keith Byers and I this Sunday. Keith Byers and I, College Football Hall of Famer, former Buckeye, will be live at Frickers on 741 by the Dayton Mall. We'll be out there, of course, to talk about the Buckeyes win over Penn State. We'll get you set for Browns and Raiders and Bengals and Titans. Come on out to Frickers, 741 by the Dayton Mall. Again, the Sunday morning tailgate show presented by Frickers. All right, folks, have a great weekend. Have a great Halloween. One more time. A little Mario costume thing. We out of here, folks. Have a great weekend.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
When I say Central Ohio's premier link-style golf course, what do you think of? It should be Windy Knoll Golf Club in Springfield. What used to be a world-class horse farm is now a stunning link-style golf course, complete with full-size steel horse sculptures and black rail fencing all around the course. And it's open to the public.